Country 107.3 presents the Rochester Rhinos pregame report.
And it's a Friday night soccer match on Country 107.3. Tonight, the Rochester Rhinos take on the Cleveland City Stars. Good evening, I'm Joe Giuliano, and welcome to the Rochester Rhinos pregame show, sponsored by Finger Lakes Gaming and Racetrack. Tonight, Rochester and Cleveland City. For the Rhinos, they enter the game with a record of 1-1-1. They've got 4 points currently in the USL First Division. The Cleveland City Stars, a team that has jumped up from the USL Second Division, looking for their first points, their first win of the year. They are currently entering the game at 0-2. Kickoff is set for 8 p.m. this evening, and it's also the debut of the new home field for the Cleveland City Stars, the Middlefield Cheese Stadium. That's the official sponsor of the stadium in Bedford, Ohio, which is also part of the Bedford City School District. The stadium is actually called the Bearcat Stadium, but since the Middlefield Cheese is the sponsor on Cleveland City Stars game nights, it'll be Middlefield Cheese Stadium. This is the first official meeting between Rochester and Cleveland. They've met twice in the preseason, both of those games ending in ties. They played once in 2008 and 2009 preseason. Stick around. When we come back, we'll have a breakdown of your Rochester Rhinos coming off a great weekend in Puerto Rico and Miami. This is the Rochester Rhinos pregame show, sponsored by Finger Lakes Gaming and Racetrack on Country 107.3.
The Rhinos on Country 107.3.
Welcome back to the Rochester Rhinos pregame show, sponsored by Finger Lakes Gaming and Racetrack. This portion of the pregame show also brought to you by Stokes, Visca and Company, certified public accountants, the official CPAs of the Rochester Rhinos. Tonight, Rochester taking on the Cleveland City Stars for the first time in regulation or regular season play, as Cleveland jumping up from the USL's Second Division. The Rhinos coming away with 4 out of 6 points on their recent road trip to Puerto Rico and Miami. Currently, they have a record of 1-1-1. Rochester playing their 4th out of 8 straight matches on the road to start the 2009 season. On Sunday, the Rhinos breaking some league-wide trends by becoming the first visiting team to record a victory away from home. Again, the first visiting team through 16 games in the USL First Division. Tonight, also a bit of a homecoming for one Rochester Rhino. Midfielder Kwame Sarkodie, who had a tremendous game against Miami FC, was a member of the Cleveland City Stars championship team before joining the Colorado Rapids reserves at the end of last season. And some honorable notes for the Rochester Rhinos. They've got a 2-game unbeaten streak going on after losing the season opener to Carolina. Johnny Menyanger, he leads the Rochester Rhinos with 2 goals this year, both those goals coming against Miami FC. He has been named to the USL Division I Team of the Week. And Rhinos goalkeeper Scott Vallow also receiving Team of the Week honors for his shutout performance against Puerto Rico on Friday night. The Rochester Rhinos, they're going to go with some changes to their lineup tonight. Most notably, it'll be in the nets. Scott Vallow will not get the start tonight. It'll be Tim Melia getting the start, as we'll talk about that as we get closer to kickoff from the Middlefield Cheese Stadium in Bedford, Ohio. Stick around. When we come back in the next segment of the pregame show, we'll talk about the defending USL Division II champion Cleveland City Stars, who have now made the jump up to USL Division I. So stick around. That's coming up next on the Rhinos pregame show, brought to you by Finger Lakes Gaming and Racetrack. 100 goals at Lee University. He will get the start tonight up top for Cleveland City. And 2004-2005 member of the Rochester Rhinos, midfielder Pato Aguilera. He is signed with Cleveland in the preseason. He also has the assist on Ricardo Pierre-Louis' only goal of the year for the Cleveland City Stars. And one of the few familiar faces, there has been a ton of turnover since Martin Rennie and Bundu and the rest of the crew, Schulte, left the Cleveland City Stars. Goalkeeper Hunter Gilstrap, he has been with the Stars since their inception, has just returned after spending the off-season in the South African Premier League. So a lot of changes for the Cleveland City Stars. New coach, Rod Underwood, he takes over after 2 years as an assistant with the Portland Timbers. and a lot of new players coming in, joining the expansion, or the, I guess not expansion, but the moving up team in the Cleveland City Stars. When we come back, we've got a bunch of news and notes, scores, standings, and the schedule to look at in the USL First Division. And then later on, we'll talk Major League Soccer, Champions League, and also look at some standings across the pond in Italy and England. And don't forget, the Rochester Rhinos home opener, May the 5th. 454-5425 to get your tickets today. All right, we'll come back and take a look at the USL First Division schedule and scores next on the Rhinos pregame show, sponsored by Finger Lakes Gaming and Racetrack on Country 107.3.
The Rhinos on Country 107.3.
Welcome back to the Rochester Rhinos pregame show, brought to you by Finger Lakes Gaming and Racetrack. Getting ready tonight for the fourth game of the year for the Rochester Rhinos as they take on the Cleveland City Stars. Kickoff set for 8 p.m. from the, check it out, Middlefield Cheese Stadium in Bedford, Ohio. Well, time to scan around the USL First Division. One game last night at PGE Park in Portland. 8,549 fans, a great crowd on hand, but the result, probably not the most entertaining for soccer fans, 0-0, Carolina and Portland. So now looking at standings in the USL First Division, topping the table, the Railhawks still undefeated. No longer perfect, but still undefeated at 3-0-1 after 4 games played. They've got 10 points. Miami FC has 6 points. Rochester has 4 points. Since Rochester and Cleveland are the only game tonight in the USL First Division, check this out. With a 3-point win, Rochester jumps all the way up into second place. So that'll be a big move tonight. A lot more action, though, coming up in the USL First Division this week. Tonight's opponents, the Cleveland City Stars. They've played 2 games. They are 0-2. They've scored 1 goal and given up 6. That is the most in the USL First Division. And also, they're the only team in the league yet to secure any points through 2 games of soccer in the USL First Division. As I mentioned, Rochester and Cleveland, the only game tonight, 8 o'clock kickoff. Tomorrow night, there are 4 games in the USL First Division. Montreal is at Puerto Rico, Charleston at Miami, Vancouver at the Minnesota Thunder, and the Carolina Railhawks at the Portland Timbers. 4 games tomorrow in the USL First Division. Now, looking at the USL First Division Team of the Week, 2 players from the Rochester Rhinos selected. Scott Vallow, again, a shutout against Puerto Rico, gets him the Goalkeeper of the Week in the USL First Division. And Johnny Manyager, 2 goals, the first 2 goals of the season for the Rochester Rhinos in their 2-1 win at Miami. No players from Cleveland selected to the Team of the Week, but looking at some other notable names, Noah Delgado from Puerto Rico, also selected to the USL First Division Team of the Week, and Brian Plotkin from Carolina had a goal in the 1-0 win over Minnesota, and Martin Nash from Vancouver selected as well. And your USL First Division Player of the Week from the expansion Austin Aztecs, Eddie Johnson, 2 goals and 1 assist in the 3-0 win over tonight's opponents, the Cleveland City Stars. So stick around. When we come back on the pregame show, we'll talk Major League Soccer. Champions League was in full effect this past week, and we'll look at some standings in Italy and England as well. Don't forget, though, the Rochester Rhinos home opener, May 30th, Montreal, 7:30 kickoff, and season tickets starting as low as $99. Call 454-5425 today. All right. Stick around. Coming up, more soccer news and notes on the Rhinos pregame show, sponsored by Finger Lakes Gaming and Racetrack, right here on Country 107.3. Bringing you tonight for some Friday night soccer as the Rochester Rhinos take on the Cleveland City Stars. 8 o'clock kickoff right here on Country 107.3. Well, let's take a look at some Major League. That would be for Saturday, May the 2nd, 6-game schedule tomorrow. Toronto FC hosting Columbus. DC United taking on Dallas at RFK. Chicago taking on the Seattle Sounders FC. Colorado takes on Real Salt Lake. San Jose and Chivas USA in Los Angeles taking on the New York Red Bulls. Standings now in Major League Soccer. Toronto FC, their coach has resigned. They still pace it in the Eastern Conference. They're in first place, followed by Chicago, Kansas City, and the New York Red Bulls. They just cannot seem to find their way. They're in 6th place out of 7 teams in the Major League Soccer Eastern Conference. Over to the West, Chivas USA, followed by the expansion Seattle Sounders FC, who have cooled off just a little bit. Real Salt Lake also in the 3rd position in the Western Conference. Dallas currently at the bottom of the barrel. What a week in Champions League soccer. The semifinals in full swing. Leg number 1 took place this past Tuesday and Wednesday. Chelsea and Barcelona, 95,000 fans in Barcelona, 0-0 draw in the first leg. And then on Wednesday, Manchester United home to Arsenal, 1-0 victory for Man United. Now the second legs, they'll be coming up on Tuesday, May the 5th. Arsenal will be home to Manchester United. And on Wednesday, May the 6th, Barcelona is at Chelsea. And that Barcelona-Chelsea first leg at the Nou Camp was physical and tenacious. I expect to see much more of that on Wednesday as Barcelona-Chelsea trying to make their way to the Champions League final. Looking at standings now in England, you've got Manchester United topping the table. Here's your top 4 in England. Surprise, surprise. Man United, Liverpool, Chelsea, and Arsenal. You know, in the middle of the year, beginning of the year, they can be scattered throughout the table. But at the end of the year, with just a couple games left,
Country 107.3 welcomes you to exclusive coverage of Rochester Rhinos soccer. Now, let's head to the stadium. Here's the voice of the Rhinos, Joe Giuliano.
It is Friday Night Soccer on Country 107.3. I'm Joe Giuliano. Tonight, the Rochester Rhinos take on the Cleveland City Stars, a team that has moved up from the USL's 2nd division to the USL's 1st division. Cleveland City Stars looking for their first win of 2009 and their first win in the USL's 1st division. I'm Joe Giuliano. It should be an interesting matchup tonight from the Middlefield Cheese Stadium in Bedford, Ohio. Normally called Bearcat Stadium. It's part of the Bedford City School District's sports complex, but due to the Middlefield Cheese team company coming in to sponsor the Cleveland City Stars, when there's games for the Cleveland City Stars, that's what they're going to call it, Middlefield Cheese Stadium. So welcome to Rochester Rhino Soccer. Joe Giuliano with you tonight, and we have a game for you with Rochester, currently in a 2-game unbeaten streak, a tie in Puerto Rico, and a 2-1 win against Miami FC on Sunday night. Johnny Menyager scoring 2 goals for the Rochester Rhinos, and the Rhinos 1-1. They've got 4 points right now. With a win tonight, they would jump up to 7 points, and they would be just, look at this, 3 points behind the Carolina Railhawks for 2nd place. So we'll see how that goes tonight. And for the Rochester Rhinos, a bit of shuffling and juggling going on as well, as Darren Tilley's going to mix and match his lineup tonight. We'll talk about that as we go on as well tonight. Tonight's game also being shown on the Fox Soccer channel, so turn down those guys and turn on Country 107.3 and enjoy tonight's broadcast. At halftime, we'll speak with Scott Vallow as well. So Rochester and Cleveland have never met in the regular season. They've played in 2008 and 2009. Both of those games were actually preseason games, and the teams ended up drawing 0-0 and 1-1 in those games. Cleveland City is 0-2. They've given up the most goals in the USL First Division with 6. They've only scored 1 goal, and that is by a player we'll talk about here in just a second. But first, let's look at Rochester's starting lineups tonight in Cleveland. Timmy Melia will get the start in goal over Scott Vallow. And Darren Tilley giving Tim Melia, the youngster, the 23-year-old, an opportunity for some national exposure. And he gets a start tonight in Cleveland. The back four, as we see it on paper right now, looks good. It'll be Burtz and Sancho, Nano Short, and John Ball in the midfield. Fitzpatrick, Nurse, Earls, and Darren Kenton. And up top, it looks like it's going to be Ryan Hines for the Rochester Rhinos. So that is your starting lineup. Tiger Fitzpatrick also in the midfield for Rochester. And Johnny Manyager, I'm sorry, that's where I left off. Johnny Manyager also starting for the Rhinos this evening. In reserve for Rochester, Kwame Sarkodie, who had a tremendous game last week in Miami. He is a reserve tonight along with Andrew Larai, Mauricio Salas, Andrew Greger, Mike Ambersley, Ty Atieno, and surprise, surprise, Scotty Vallow, also a reserve tonight for the Rochester Rhinos. Starting lineup tonight for the home team, the Cleveland City Stars, as they look for their first points of 2009. The goalkeeper will be Hunter Gilstrap. He is in his third year with Cleveland. Also on defense, it's going to be Conte, Roberts, Stovall, and Cruikshank. In the midfield, looks like they're going with five across the middle. Question, Tenoff, Canu, Hodgkin, and former Rochester Rhino, Pato Aguilera. And up top, it's going to be Pierre Louis. He is Ricardo Pierre Louis, the Haitian national team player. He'll be starting up top. He actually has the only goal of the year this season for the Cleveland City Stars. The surface here at Middlefield Cheese Stadium, it's field turf surface. It's 120 by 75, 5,000 seat capacity at the Middlefield Cheese Stadium. And, you know, look at the city of Cleveland. What a great soccer history they have with teams like the Cleveland Crunch of the Major Indoor Soccer League. And, you know, go back into the 60s and early 70s, the Cleveland Stokers, the Cleveland Cobras. We'll talk about that tonight as we go on. But really a big soccer history in Cleveland. The Cleveland Force, also of Major Indoor Soccer League. So it's great to see that the Cleveland City Stars, the champions of USL D2 last year, making the big jump up to the 2009 USL First Division season. And really huge shoes to fill. 14 different players from different countries represented for the Cleveland City Stars. Rod Underwood is the head coach for Cleveland. He has taken over after 2 years as an assistant coach with the Portland Timbers. Martin Reddy, very popular player, or very popular coach, now went to Carolina. Now what happened is Rennie, Schulte, and Bundu, two of the better players you're going to find in the USL First Division, left with Coach Martin Rennie to go to Carolina. Then, after that announcement, they decided to go up to the USL First Division, so the City Stars were forced to scramble, but they found a very quality replacement in Rod Underwood. So Cleveland, we talked about them. They've given up the most goals in the USL First Division. We'll see how everything shapes up tonight from the Middlefield Cheese Stadium. I'm Joe Giuliano. We are minutes away from kickoff as Rochester getting ready for game number 4 of the 2009 season. Johnny Manyager selected to the USL First Division Team of the Week after scoring 2 goals against Miami FC last Sunday. Scott Vallow also chosen, and he gets the time off tonight, and it's an interesting move by Coach Tilley. As Cleveland, you know, who knows what to expect from an expansion team who has really struggled, given up a lot of goals. As the rain continues to pour down here at Middlefield Cheese Stadium, it's a good opportunity for Timmy Melia, the youngster out of Lynn University, to get his starts here in 2009. Not a bad crowd on hand, considering the weather conditions at the Bedford, Ohio complex. Again, this is the Bearcat Stadium, and it's also used for the Bedford City School sports teams in Cleveland, Ohio. So starting lineups again, Gilstrap, Question, Conte, Roberts, and Stovall. It'll be Hodgkin, Canu, Tenoff, and Cruikshank. And Aguilera looks like he's going to start forward, but he'll be withdrawn behind Ricardo Pierre Louis. That's for the Cleveland City Stars. We are minutes away from kickoff, and as usual, when there's a nationally televised match, kickoff is always delayed. We are 2 minutes past our scheduled kickoff, and now it looks like Atieno is going to be given the start for the Rochester Rhinos. And things changing at the last second. Atieno looks like he will start for Rochester, and looks like Nathaniel Short will be taken out. Few fans from Rochester have made the trip. The drum, the banners, and the flag ready to go tonight from Cleveland as Rochester and Cleveland meet for the first time in regular season play, as the football lines and the Bedford lining the middle of the field here in Bedford, Ohio, as Rochester wearing the all-yellow jerseys. Cleveland will be wearing the green tops, and the Rhinos, a team with a ton of confidence coming into tonight's game as we look at the players getting ready for the national anthem here in Bedford, Ohio. Pat Erkley, unfortunately, couldn't be with us tonight. Hopefully he'll be with us for the next broadcast. That'll be on Saturday, 3:45 against the Montreal Impact, 3:15 pregame show right here on Country 107.3. Very windy conditions as the Rhinos and their fans hold up the big American flag, and they'll probably be the louder ones tonight at the Middlefield Cheese Stadium. So, USL First Division, this is the only game tonight in the league, and Rochester with a huge opportunity here to pick up some big points and jump all the way up into second place. So, we are making one change to the starting lineup for the Rochester Rhinos. Ty Atieno will get the start. It's not Nathaniel Short, number 29. It's number 27, Atieno, who's really had a great start to the season. He has been hardworking, finding opportunities, and you get the feeling once he finds the back of the net, it could come up for more and more goals for Ty Atieno, the former member of the Puerto Rico Islanders. And Cleveland's going to be wearing the black shirt with the green shorts tonight as the national anthem continues in this nasty, nasty weather, as the referees and the ball boys and girls kind of huddle up and try to keep warm here tonight on a nasty night in Cleveland, Ohio, as the Rochester Rhinos kicking off game number 4. This is the 4th of 8 straight games on the road for the Rhinos, and that's a tough way to start. But again, Coach Tilley, I think the rest of the Rochester Rhinos feel they have a great opportunity to steal some points early on before teams really find their rhythm and their legs at home. Tonight's game again being broadcast on the Fox Soccer Channel. And while we have a moment here, I'd like to send a warm welcome, hello, to Soccer Sam and his lovely wife, Linda, out in Radio Land somewhere listening to tonight's broadcast, as the Rhinos looking to pick up some points before they head into that big game in Montreal. The Cleveland City Stars, a team that's really struggled as far as getting players ejected their first 2 games. One player sent off in Miami, one player sent off in Austin, elbows to the face, so they will be without Ryan Stewart, number 17, their midfielder. He throws the elbow. At that point, they were trailing 1-0, ended up losing 3-0 to the Austin Aztecs. And again, Cleveland City, a team that has only scored 1 goal through their first 2 games of the year. And the Rhinos doing their customary huddle as the referee's checking everything out here. And we're getting ready for kickoff. Finally, 6 or 7 minutes delayed due to the weather and the national television broadcast, as this is the home opener, the debut of the new stadium for the Cleveland City Stars. And it's got the football lines on it still. Not a big fan of that, but we'll do our best to work through that tonight as both teams huddling up. The Cleveland City Stars, black tops, green shorts, and black socks. The defending champions from the USL Second Division, Kwame Sarkodie, also a member of the team last year, not in the starting lineup tonight for Rochester. He is also available as a reserve. Okay, we're almost ready for kickoff here. The celebration, the hoopla continues as the Stars shuffling back and forth with some quality in their lineup. We'll see if they found their form and their rhythm just yet. It looks like Rochester will be attacking the goal to our right, and Cleveland will be attacking the goal to our left, as there's some customary midfield ceremonies going on. Very interesting sideline here as it's the green turf up to the football field, and then it's painted almost dark blue from the sideline to the sideline of the football field. And it's going to be interesting calling this one tonight as the Rhinos take on one of their former teammates, Pato Aguilera, who spent 2004 and 2005 with the Rochester Rhinos. He brings a ton of creative flair and talent to the new Cleveland City Stars of the USL First Division. And it is just an awful, awful night in Cleveland, Ohio tonight, as we are still waiting for kickoff here. And both teams just kind of trying to keep warm, bouncing up and down. And while we're waiting for kickoff tonight, we can do a couple of live reads here. AT&T shutout for charity. The fans this season, each time the Rhinos record a shutout, AT&T will donate $50 to the Boys and Girls Clubs of Rochester. This season's shutout for charity program is powered by the Rhinos and AT&T. AT&T, your world delivered. Got that out of the way, and hopefully now we're ready for some soccer. As the referee says, let's play some soccer. The midfield being cleared. The pregame festivities finally over, and we've got some soccer underway from Bedford, Ohio. Rochester attacking the goal to our right, wearing the all-yellow jerseys. And Atieno, as we mentioned, he is in the starting lineup tonight. Nathaniel Short is not getting the start. Atieno starting for Rochester, and this could be the breakout game for number 27, Ty Atieno, the 24-year-old who played for the Puerto Rico Islanders last season. All right, here we go. Minute number 1, finally going to get underway. It'll be a kickoff for Pierre St. Louis and the Cleveland City Stars as they set it deep into the Rochester half of the field. And Darren Kenton plays it all the way back to Tim Melia. Doesn't get any height on the ball, but it comes out to Tiger Fitzpatrick. He's knocked off the ball. And a shot from about 40 yards away by the Cleveland City Stars in the first minute. Tim Melia gets a couple touches early on. And again, terrible, terrible conditions here. The rain, the wind pouring in here tonight as the Rhinos and Cleveland have a lot to deal with on the field turf surface with the football lines, the dark lines on the outside. It's an interesting situation in Cleveland here. The ball's played all the way back to Tim Melia. It's about 10 yards outside of his box. He sends it deep into Cleveland territory. It'll be a throw-in for the Cleveland City Stars, about 20 yards out on the far side. As tonight's official trying to get control of the match. We've got 2 balls on the field, and the Stars trying to take about 20 yards extra on the throw-in from the far side. The referee says, no, not going to happen. Throw in there by Question. Sounds like a very familiar name, and you'll know why in a couple seconds when we talk about him. Gordon Question, number 7 for the Cleveland City Stars. Here's Kenny Burtz, who early on this season has really gotten pushed out to the left side quite a bit for Rochester. Gives Earls the chance to push up and get into the attack. Earls had to sit out a game due to a red card in Carolina. So he's back in the lineup and looking fit and rugged as ever as Kenny Burtz steps in. Tries to play the ball forward to Nurse. He is taken down there by Stephen Cruikshank, who's starting at outside midfielder tonight for the Cleveland City Stars as they open up their home debut at the Middlefield Cheese Stadium. It'll be a free kick in the second minute for Rochester. Sancho to the top of the 18. Ball flicks it down, and Gilstrap diving to his left makes a save. And in wet conditions like this, that's a good opportunity for the Rhinos outside fullback. We're seeing John Ball push up quite a bit already, along with Danny Earls. Gilstrap puts it down on the turf, and Kenny Burtz is so strong pushing forward that he wins the ball in the air. Timmy Melia, third minute, no score. Rochester and Cleveland. Joe Giuliano with you on Country 107.3, the Rhinos' 4th game of the year. All 4 games coming on the road. Melia playing a ball that skips through on this terribly wet surface. We'll see how the field turf holds up tonight as the wind and rain again just continue to pound Bedford. Here's Johnny Manyager, leaves it off, tries to play it for ball, but it's played behind him, and Hodgkins comes back to play it back for the Cleveland City Stars. With the ball now is Ryan Hines. 10 off all over his back. Hines forced to go backwards to Danny Earls. Tiger Fitzpatrick loses the ball to Hodgkins. Played forward now, but taken away by Tiger Fitzpatrick right at the 50. So the markings easily identifiable for the football fans. Here's Earls on the far side. Fakes right, goes left. Hard tackle from behind. In the 4th minute, there's going to be a yellow card as Ryan Hines was slammed down to the turf on the far side. And you can see Cleveland having trouble already with the cards going into the book in minute number 4 as the Cleveland City Stars not needing any more help from the card category. Hines taken down hard. First yellow card of the game, 4 minutes in, and the Stars probably looking to send a message here early on as Ryan Hines was taken down just at midfield on the far side of the field. Here's Earls, left-footed cross into the 18, forward by Atieno, looking for Johnny Menyanger, cleared away at the 6. Nurse to Kenton. Kenton with 3 City Star players all over him, somehow gets away from them on the near side. Top of the 18, Kenton's taken down, and we continue to play. Either sloppy defending or great play by Darren Kenton. Push forward to Menyanger, top of the 18. Atieno, right-footed shot, and what a save by Hunter Gilstrap as Ty Atieno looking to make his first one of the year count, and he gets denied there by the 29-year-old goalkeeper, Hunter Gilstrap, in the 5th minute. Good through ball as Cleveland looking to play the trap. Rochester beats it. Atieno and Menyanger all sorts of time inside on the keeper, and Atieno waiting for that first one. Cross in the box, headed away there by the Stars. On the far side, Question heads it out of play. It'll be a throw-in deep in Cleveland's half of the field on the far side. So looks like Johnny Menyanger tracking over to take it for the Rhinos. It's about 15 yards out. It's John Ball instead now. 6th minute, Atieno and Menyanger with a golden opportunity. Ball with the long throw-in. At the corner of the 6, bounces to the top of the 18, and it's cleared away by Tenoff. Looking for Pierre Louis. He's got the only goal of the year for the Cleveland City Stars. Tiger Fitzpatrick pops it up in the air. Question. He's got Hines and Menyanger all over his back. He pops it forward. And Earls tries to bring it down, goes off his left foot, throwing for Pato Aguilera and the Cleveland City Stars. Good step forward there by Kenny Burtz, breaks it up, and they're going to call a handball inside the Rhinos' half of the field. Kenny Burtz, who spent some time in the German 3rd Division, has had a really solid start so far for Rochester this year. Chip forward by Question. Looking for Hodgkins. He gets up in the air. Plays it back to the top of the 18. Cruikshank. Pato Aguilera. Now it's Tenoff to Question with the left foot. Plays it from the far side to the near side. Hodgkins. He's one-on-one. Kenton, good slide tackle there. Should be a corner kick. No, they're going to call a goal kick, saying it was out of play. And a goal kick coming up for the Rochester Rhinos. 1 corner kick in this game so far. That for the Rochester Rhinos, and 1 save for Hunter Gilstrap. 7th minute, no score. Rochester and Cleveland. On the far side, it's Earls. Plays it forward to Ryan Hines. He's taken down again on the sideline. And we'll see if it was ball or man. And it's very tough going here in the first half, as that time Stephen Cruikshank gets in there for the slide tackle. Here's Godfrey Tenoff playing it forward to Ricardo Pierre Louis. He's knocked off the ball by Tiger Fitzpatrick, but Louis has got possession. He's tugged on. We continue to play. Poor touch at midfield, but Tenoff with possession. Quick restart. Looking for Pierre Louis, the Haitian international. Here's Gordon Question. Good step forward there. Slide tackle there by Danny Earls. Louis with Sancho all over his back. Turns with the left foot up and sails wide of the net. It'll be a goal kick for Rochester. Sponsors of tonight's broadcast include AT&T Mobility, AT&T Your World Delivered, Auction Direct, the lowest price, the best experience. Log on to auctiondirect.com, and Connolly, the official printer of the Rochester Rhinos. Amelia, with the aid of the win, sends it into the Cleveland half of the field, where it's knocked out of play. Throw it on the far side for Danny Earls. Terrible conditions here tonight in Cleveland. Windy, rainy. Will it have a factor tonight? We will see. Atieno wins the ball on the far side. Is that Question grabbing his jersey? Atieno's so strong, able to fight him off. Ball's deflected back to Danny Earls. Switches the run of play here to the near side. John Ball to Kenton. Ball on the near flank, about 18 yards out. Right-footed cross. Deflected, up and away. Gilstrap calls for it, and he wins possession for the Cleveland City Stars. Hunter Gilstrap, the 26-year-old. He has been with Cleveland since their first year, 3 seasons ago. Spent the 2006 season with Miami FC. Also trained and played in the South African Premier League during the off-season. Throw in for Darren Kenton. 9th minute. Headed there. 10 off. Trying to chip it forward. Darren Kenton times it well. Wins the ball for the Rhinos. Played forward. Won again by Rochester right at the midfield circle. Lost possession. Pato to Tenoff. To Jason Hodgkin. Tries to play a through ball. Cruikshank can't get to it. Timmy Melia, the 23-year-old who played at Lynn University, wins it for Rochester. Johnny Manyanger. Quick little one-touch back to Tiger Fitzpatrick. We're on the far side with Danny Earls. 10th minute, no score. Rochester and Cleveland. Atieno with a huge opportunity one-on-one with Hunter Gilstrap, unable to find the back of the net. But the chances continue to come for Ty Atieno. With the ball is 10 off. Now forward to Cruikshank. To Pierre-Louis. Good little possession here by Cleveland. And the finishing touch to Hodgkin. Goes central when Hodgkin's on the flank instead. Tim Melia. A lot of touches here in this first half. 10 minutes in, no score. Melia waiting for some movement off the ball. Pushes it to the top of the 18. Sends another long one downfield about 20 yards out. Bounces up over Cruikshank and into the resting arms of Hunter Gilstrap. He's going to take his time again in the nasty, nasty weather tonight. Rod Underwood, he has taken over for Martin Rennie as the head coach of the Cleveland City Stars. Ricardo Pierre-Louis and Brent Sancho getting tangled up. Ball's played into the Rhinos 18, cleared away there by Darren Kenton. Hard challenge, John Ball. A little late to it. Number 14, Anthony Stovall, knocks it out of play. It'll be a throw-in for the Rhinos in the 11th minute on the near side. Rochester 1-1-1. Cleveland 0-2, looking for their first points of the year, whether it's a draw or a win. The ball's headed forward off of Stovall. He's going to play it down the middle of the field to the far side. Out of play, throw-in for the Rochester Rhinos, who may have surprised some fans, starting Timmy Melia over Scott Vallow. There's Burtz to Johnny Manyanger, who was absolutely outstanding last week in Miami. Turns to Atieno. Some confusion there, and the Rhinos lose possession. Good step forward. Here's Atieno, 30 yards out to Johnny Manyanger. Manyanger avoids one defender, comes to the near side. Plays it to John Ball. Ball cuts back to his left, to the top of the 18. Manyanger with the right foot, it's blocked. Here's Earls now on the far side. Pushes it to his left. Cruikshank coming in hard on the challenge, and he knocks Ryan Hines off the ball. It will be a throw-in for Gordon Kleshchin. And that's a player we talked about, the 25-year-old, played with the New York Red Bulls last year of Major League Soccer. His brother, Sasha Kleshchin of Chivas USA and the U.S. national team. So some good family soccer lines in the Kleshchins coming out here in the world of professional soccer. Atieno on the far side, marked closely there by Troy Roberts. Out of play, another throw-in coming up here in the 13th minute, no score. Rochester with a throw-in. They're about 6 yards out on the far side. Looks like it's Ryan Hines to take it, number 11. Long throw to the corner of the 6. Kleshchin heads it down. Here's Cruikshank, who has been a physical presence early on. Gets up over Kenny Burtz to Pierre-Louis. On the far side, waiting for some help. Louis plays it forward to Pato Aguilera. Tries the quick little flick. No one there but Danny Earls for the Rhinos. And he plays it back to Tim Melia. Atieno again up in the air, does a great job checking back for the ball. Manyanger trying to play it back, and Tiger steps in. They lose possession. With the ball now, it's Troy Roberts, number 12, to Cruikshank. To Pato. Cruikshank again with the ball. Playing it forward there, and some giveaways by Cleveland right in the middle of the field, as they don't seem to want possession. Here's Pato, chipping it forward to Pierre-Louis. Kenny Burtz on his back, forcing a little flick there to go to the top of the 18, where Timmy Melia picks it up in the 14th minute. Here's Danny Earls. Good to see him back in the lineup for Rochester. Good ball forward now. Atieno, way outside on the far side. He's got Kleshchin and Roberts around him. 2v1. Cleveland wins possession. Atieno forcing Roberts back to the corner flag as the City Stars find their way out of trouble but it ends up at midfield on the right foot of Kenny Burtz. To the player assistant coach, Brent Sancho. Sancho with a huge soccer resume. Lays it forward. Chris Nurse fighting off the challenge. Good little 1-2 with Menyager and Nurse. He was looking for Atieno. Finally gets him. Outside now, Hines, corner of the 18. Cuts to his right. Shoots, and it's saved by Hunter Gilstrap. Good bit of possession there from the Rhinos. And the youngster, Ryan Hines, cutting to his right foot. Gets a hard, low shot off. Another good save there by the goalkeeper, Hunter Gilstrap. That is his second save of the evening, second shot of the night for the Rochester Rhinos. We've got a free kick now coming up for Rochester on the near side as there's a foul, and Tiger Fitzpatrick, Johnny Menyager, about 25 yards out on the near side. Tiger with a two-man wall, 15th minute. We've got no score in Cleveland. Cruikshank and Hodgkin forming the wall for the Cleveland City Stars as they've opened up their new home field in Bedford, Ohio. Tiger waiting for 10. Cruikshank and Hodgkin right at the corner of the 18 on the near side. Two-man wall. Whip ball into the box, deflected wide by the Rhinos there. Top of the 18, Menyager just over the net. Johnny Menyager's got the goal-scoring touch, looking for some more tonight in Cleveland. A good driven ball into the box by Tiger Fitzpatrick. And tonight's game also presented by Connors and Ferris, workers' comp and Social Security attorneys committed to serving Rochester's injured workers. Call 262-COMP today. The Distillery, your neighborhood gathering place. It's all good here. And Free Time Magazine, available free or online anytime at freetime.com. Long goal kick by Gilstrap as Rochester trying to make something happen here in the first half. Ball's played back into the box. Hunter Gilstrap. Again, he has been very busy tonight, recording 3 saves in the first 16 minutes. Punts it upfield, and the wind just dies at midfield. Tenoff looking for someone forward, gets it to Aguilera, but it goes through his legs, and Danny Earls will just boot it deep downfield to the Cleveland end line, and it'll go out of play. Goal kick coming up for the Cleveland City Stars, and it's good to see top-level professional soccer coming back to Cleveland. We talked about at the pregame show some great teams who have played in Cleveland, the Cobras, the Cleveland Crunch, and the Cleveland Force of indoor soccer. But the Cleveland Stokers, one of my favorite names, played in the United Soccer Association during 1967. Their claim to fame came in July 1968 at Cleveland Stadium. They defeated Pelé and Santos 2-1. And the United Soccer Association was interesting because they were teams of European that came here. It was all European teams. The Cleveland City Stokers were actually Stokers FC out of England. So professional soccer has changed quite a bit here in the U.S. There'll be a goal kick coming up for the Rhinos. Darren Kenton doing a good job fighting off the pressure of Godfrey Tenoff. And Kenton, what a story. What a pickup he has been for the Rochester Rhinos. He was playing with Cheltenham, had an 18-month contract offer on the table, decided to come to North America, had a tryout with Toronto FC. Didn't work for him, and the Rhinos scooping up the very talented Darren Kenton, who wears the number 22 for your Rochester Rhinos. Playing on the far side, Atieno pops one in the air that Tiger finally brings down to the turf. Played to Earls, and he's got some pressure from Tenoff, and he knocks it out of play, throw-in for the Cleveland City Stars. Question to Tenoff on the far side at midfield. Ricardo Pierre-Louis, every time he gets the ball, he's got 3 Rhino defenders around him. Nowhere to go for the Haitian international. Hodgkin trying to play it forward, but it's taken away there by the Rhinos, 18th minute. Up and out of play. A nice contingent of Rochester Rhinos fans, banners hanging across the field. And Darren Tilley has got to be happy to see the support coming from Rochester down into the Cleveland, Ohio area. 19th minute, and we have no score. Rochester, 4th game of the year, Cleveland's 3rd game of the year. I'm Joe Giuliano, the new play-by-play voice of the Rochester Rhinos. Pat Erkley, hopefully you'll be able to join us on Saturday as Rochester travels to Montreal Saputo Stadium for a 3:45 kickoff. Another throw-in for Earls. Taken away there by Kleshtin. Popped up off the Rhinos, and they're going to say it's a throw-in for Cleveland, or for Rochester instead, as Earls quickly takes it to Chris Nurse. Nurse all the way back now to Brent Sancho. Sancho and Burtz really getting comfortable with one another. Here's Darren Kenton. So he's playing outside back today. Johnny Ball pushing up into the right midfield position. Crookshank tries to push it forward. Sancho anticipates the play very well there. Here's Ryan Hines. Had a good look at goal. Good save by Gilstrap, who has been huge so far for the Cleveland City Stars. Troy Roberts knocks it out of play. Throw in for Rochester on the far side. And the Rhinos waiting for some help. Looks like Danny Earls will take the throw in on the far side. Tries to play it to Hines. He does get possession back. Earls with the right-footed cross. Knocked away there by Tenoff. And Gordon Kleshtin playing it for Ricardo Pierre-Louis. What a great soccer name. The Haitian. Here's Earls to Hines on the far side. Terrible, terrible conditions tonight. Rainy, windy, very cool night in Cleveland. Kleshtin on the far side. Plays it back to Tenoff. One touch forward. Kenny Burtz again there to break up the play. Rochester starts the attack at midfield. Chris Nurse to number 13, John Ball, who was a fan favorite in Cleveland. They love their Johnny Ball in the indoor soccer. Great ball now to Mr. Ball on the near side, just outside the 18. Cross into the box, top of the 18. Manyager tries to turn. He's got traffic all around him. He had Ryan Hines wide open on the far side. Manyager settled the ball and then lost possession. Here's Pato Aguilera. Pushes it with the inside of the right foot, the outside of the right foot. Can't go anywhere. As Kenny Burtz, and a big frame steps in front of the play there. Tenoff at midfield. Playing it to Crookshank. To Gordon Kleshtin, number 7. Poor touch there. Great anticipation from Danny Earls. Does a beautiful job faking right, going left. But the ball goes out of play, throwing for the City Stars. Gordon Kleshtin, the brother of Sasha, 25-year-old in his first year with the Cleveland City Stars. We'll be saying that a lot tonight, as Martin Rennie has taken the core of the good players with him, I think, in Bundu and Schulte, now with Carolina in the USL First Division. Long ball. Pierre-Louis, corner of the 18, tries a shot. It goes way up over the goalpost and through the football uprights. It'll be a goal kick for the Rochester Rhinos. Other sponsors of tonight's broadcast include Finger Lakes Gaming and Racetrack. The fun starts here. Food Link, Abundance Shared, and Spinning Webs. Mike Moran, designing the new website at rhinosoccer.com. Mike Moran and Spinning Webs, the official website provider of the Rochester Rhinos. Quick restart by Rochester. Kenton is pushing into the half of the Cleveland City Stars, and he crosses one into the box, forcing a punch save there by Hunter Gilstrap, and probably one of the better choices for him, as the conditions very wet, very slippery, forcing it out of play. It'll be a corner kick for Rochester, their second of the game tonight, as Ball and Kenton will find a lot of play on the right flank. Corner kick, header up, and just wide of the net is Atieno able to get in there, and it should be another corner kick coming up for Rochester. Burtz and Atieno both challenging for the ball there, as Rochester picks up their third corner kick. We'll just change sides now, as Ryan Hines will take it for Rochester. Third corner, 23rd minute, no score. The Rhinos and the City Stars. Plays it short to the corner of the 18. Earls, left-footed cross into the box, rolls through the box, and no one there for Rochester. A goal kick coming up for Hunter Gilstrap and the Cleveland City Stars. A team who really, in USL Division II play over the last 2 years, undefeated in 20 games at home. They went 14-0-6, and this is their first home game in the USL First Division. We'll see how the City Stars fare after losing 2 games away from home, outscored 6-1. Hodgkin, that's a player who I thought looked very impressive in the preseason game at Rhino Soccer Stadium on the left flank, but he's got a lot to deal with tonight in John Ball and Darren Kenton. But Hodgkin, the 30-year-old in his second year with Cleveland, we'll talk about him. He's got some experience in Europe as well. Nurse, ball takes a crazy little bounce, and Tiger Fitzpatrick comes in to clean up for the Rochester Rhinos. Here's Hines on the far side. Very slippery, ball falls off his foot. It'll be a throw-in coming up for the Cleveland City Stars. Tenoff. He's just knocked off the ball by Tiger Fitzpatrick. They win possession again. On this near side, Stovall trying to push forward, slides, and it's taken away there by Chris Nurse, who was just the ball winner, the destroyer, in the middle of the park. Here is Stovall pushing it forward, and Sancho steps in front of Pierre-Louis. Continue to play. Hines to Menyanger. He's got the ball, and he turns around so quick, and he's facing goal in an instant. Great knack there for Johnny Menyanger. Sancho again beating Pierre-Louis to the ball. Kenton trying to fight off Jason Hodgkin as they get tangled up, and we continue to play. Hodgkin pops one up in the air, and Tenoff comes up over the back of Tiger. And we continue to play. Now the referee's going to call a foul here. Looks like the undercut there of Godfrey Tenoff caught the attention of the official. It'll be a free kick for Rochester. 25th minute, no score. Rochester and Cleveland. Sancho will have a free kick inside the Rhinos' half of the field. Sends a long ball to the far flank. Atieno knocks it back, and Nurse tries to play it to Tiger, but it's broken up there. Here's Hodgkin, the left midfielder, tries a through ball looking for Pierre-Louis, but it's got too much pace on it. And Melia, reading the play well at the top of the 18, steps off and wins possession for Rochester. Ryan Hines on the different colored turf between the soccer sideline and football sideline. And it's played out of bounds there by the Rhinos. 26th minute, no score. Rochester and Cleveland, first official meeting in regular season play. They've met twice in the preseason in 08 and 09. Pato Aguilera trying to go forward here, but Sancho again, he and Burt's positionally have been perfect so far. Earls on the far side. Chris Nurse, the 24-year-old, played with Tamworth in England last year. Ball, tough giveaway there, as Pato takes it back for Cleveland. He gives it back to Johnny Menyanger. Menyanger, of course, very dangerous, facing the goal, going at defenders. Rochester, a bit of keep away here. Play it back out to Kenny Burtz. He'll go out to the far flank. Earls, nice job to avoid some pressure. Still with the ball, Earls. He's pressured there by Canu. Not the Canu we know from England. And there's a foul as Atieno did a great job to fight off the defender and turn towards goal. He's taken down. Free kick for Rochester in the 27th minute. About 40 yards out on the far side. Tiger and Menyanger again getting together. Looks like Menyanger's going to give this one to Tiger Fitzpatrick. Atieno checking back for the ball 40 yards away from the goal. His movement off the ball is just amazing. Free kick as Cleveland's Hunter Gilstrap looks like he wants a three-man wall. I think now a little more aware of the dangerous service from Tiger Fitzpatrick. Tiger, chip into the box, and it's inside the 6, a little too deep there, as Gilstrap registers his 5th save of the evening. No saves for Timmy Melia yet. He hasn't been called upon to do anything big. You can thank the back four, especially Burtz and Sancho, who have really done a nice job stepping in, winning possession for Rochester. 28th minute, no score. Rainy, wet, windy, cold Cleveland. Rochester back in action on Saturday against the arch-rival Montreal Impact. And believe it or not, Mauro Biello still going at it for Montreal. Pierre-Louis looking for some help. He's got yellow jerseys all around, nowhere to go. Long ball forward for Atieno. Forced to spin around, can't keep possession, and it'll be a throw-in for Cleveland City. Question, forced to go back again. He's got the habit of trying to steal 10, 15 yards. Referee having none of it this evening. Earls tries to play it forward. Conte steps in with a strong header. Up and out of play. Ibrahim Conte, the 27-year-old. Played with Crystal Palace of Baltimore. Also spent some time in the wonderful world of indoor soccer, St. Louis and Baltimore. Here come the City Stars now trying to get free here. Stovall on this near flank. Plays it to Hodgkin. He cannot possess the ball. It will be a throw-in for Darren Kenton and the Rochester Rhinos wearing the all-yellow this evening. John Ball pops one up in the air, and Johnny Manyanger does what he does so well. Brings it down to the feet. Tries to play it to Hines. Out of play there. Throw-in for Cleveland, 30th minute. No score. Kenny Burtz to Tiger Fitzpatrick. Rochester had a golden opportunity. Atieno and Johnny Manyanger all alone in on Hunter Gilstrap. And I don't think Atieno got it clean. Gilstrap got a piece of it, sent it out of play for a corner kick. But I think Atieno and Manyanger may be surprised how much space that they had behind the Cleveland defense. Forced out there by Cleveland. Throw in for the City Stars. Chris Nurse has done his job in the middle of the park. He's a destroyer. He wins the ball and gets possession back to Rochester. Sancho fighting with Pierre Louis. It'll be a throw-in for the Cleveland City Stars. Hodgkin with some words for the official. And he wants a foul call, but there'll be a throw-in instead for Cleveland City. The referee's got the conditions to deal with and a couple players who, which are always going to get in the wonderful game of soccer, who speak their mind. Now Cleveland trying to get some possession on the far side. Foul call by Earls. Didn't see any contact there, but the referee and his assistant on the far side decide to give Cleveland a knock here. As Danny Earls getting a word from the official. No card, just a little verbal warning. First free kick of the game for the City Stars in the Rhinos half of the field. On that far side, about 35 yards out, it's Kleshkin. Takes it with the left. It's driven hard and low at the top of the 18. And let's see what the call is here. Referee makes another call inside the Rhinos box. May have been some contact. And it'll be a free kick coming out for the Rochester Rhinos. And Tim Melia takes it short to Danny Earls. Here's Ryan Hines. Ball's knocked off his foot. Kleshkin keeps it in, but Hines takes over. Good slide tackle there, though. Helping out is Stovall. Here's Johnny Manyanger. Chris Nurse to Darren Kenton, who the more you see play, the more you're going to love his style. May 30th, the first time you'll see him at home for the Rochester Rhinos. He is going to be a great player to watch. Good hard tackle there by Nurse, but Hodgkin with possession still on the near side. He's got some space. First time he's seen space in this half. Pierre Louis gets behind Sancho inside the Rhinos 18, and he's offsides. It'll be a free kick coming up for the Rochester Rhinos. Other sponsors of tonight's broadcast include the DNC. Catch all of tonight's Rhinos home game highlights in tomorrow's DNC home game. Not quite May 30th, my man. The Harrow East Athletic Club, located at 400 Andrew Street in Rochester. Rochester's best-kept secret, the Harrow East Athletic Club. And the restart taken there by Tim Melia. Popped up in the air as Hines trying to track it down. He's got Kleshkin on him, and Kleshkin wins possession, but he plays it right back to Danny Earls. Cleveland has given the ball away several times here tonight. 10 off. Now to Hodgkin. His first touch pushes the ball backwards. He tries to go forward, and no one there but Kenny Burtz. Johnny Manyanger. Rochester looking to put their mark on this game. 33rd minute. Earls double-teamed, loses possession to Kanu. But Hines steps in, and he gets possession back. Tries to play it to the top of the 18, and it's cleared away there by Ibrahim Kante. Kenny Burtz. Long ball. Into the 18, looking for Atieno. Takes one hop, and it's into the arms of Hunter Gilstrap. As Atieno looking for goal number 1. Gilstrap's punt doesn't even go to midfield. Again, the wind so strong here tonight at Middlefield Cheese Stadium that it's going less than midfield on the punts. He's going to try it again now. And this one does get up over to midfield. And Burtz with the right foot plays it up in the air. Hines has got possession now. Chris Nurse with some direction as Hines plays it back to Danny Earls. Now Nurse to Tiger Fitzpatrick in the middle of the field. Tiger opens up the play here on the near side. to John Ball, right at midfield. Rhinos with some good ball movement, going from the far side to the middle. Now, still on the near side here is Chris Nurse. Check that, it's Darren Kenton. Tries to go forward, but Stovall steps in. Hodgkin and Nurse 50-50. You can see the strength and the physical presence of Chris Nurse. At halftime, we had a chance to catch up with Scott Vallow. Be sure to stick around for that interview coming up in between the first and second half on the Rhinos halftime show. Long ball, Pierre-Louis trying to get behind Burtz. He heads it up in the air. And Sancho will flick it forward to Darren Kenton. Louis just a step late there. Here's Pato. He's knocked down to the turf, plays it up in the air. Is it kept in play? Nope. Throwing for Rochester on the near side. Godfrey Tenoff and the Cleveland City Stars missing Ryan Stewart this evening. He got a red card last week in Austin. Second of the year for Cleveland. Elbows to the face, both situations there for the City Stars. And it's tough to win, especially in this league, playing a man down. Quick restart by the City Stars. Kenton knocks it out of play. About 25 yards out on the near side. Another throw-in for Cleveland City. Hodgkin will take it. And the possession here. Ball's bouncing up in the air. Pato and Cleveland, all sorts of trouble possessing the ball. Not sure if it's the surface or just the newness of the team, but at times they have looked very sloppy. Tenoff knocks it out of play. A throw-in for Rochester. Again, the conditions also very, very treacherous this evening. Kenton brings it down. Played off the hand of Hodgkin. And Rochester trying to get possession here. But Tenoff instead plays a through ball. And you can see the option tonight looking for Pierre-Louis. Looks like he is the lone forward. The 24-year-old in his first season with Cleveland. Spent some time with Columbus last year as they won the MLS Cup. And he's got a bunch of goals at the college level. Over 100 goals at Lee University. Trying to expose his speed and get in behind Sancho and Kenny Burtz. Foul at midfield there by Chris Nurse on Pato Aguilera, former member of the Rochester Rhinos. Pato has been all around the USL First Division. The quick restart not working for Cleveland. 37th minute, no score. John Ball on the near side to Atieno. Trying to get the ball to settle so he can turn. Still coming across the field now, Atieno. Two players around him. And it's taken back by Cruikshank. Stephen Cruikshank, the 25-year-old, the Trinidad and Tobago international. To Tenoff, through ball looking for Pierre-Louis, and will be offsides again. Sancho and Burtz reading the through balls, reading the plays like a book. As that's the theme so far for Cleveland City. One shot on goal for Cleveland, 4 for Rochester. As the Rhinos trying to pick up another road win. They were the first team through 16 games to win away from home. 2-1 win at Miami last week. Amelia plays a long ball that Kleshkin will play back to midfield with the right foot. And Burtz plays it now back into the Cleveland half of the field. Possessed here now by Chris Nurse. Tries to play it to Kenton. That's behind him. And it'll be a throw-in for Cleveland City. They try a quick restart, but the ball sliding through the hands of Anthony Stovall, the outside defender. Stovall pops a high one up in the air. And Sancho is able to knock Pierre-Louis off the ball. Kenton. Here's Hodgkin now, about 30 yards out on the near side. Hodgkin. Nice little fancy footwork here, coming into the corner of the 6. Hodgkin, left-footed shot, saved by Amelia. Rebound, plays it out, and it's cleared away by the Rhinos. And some possession inside the 18 for Jason Hodgkin. And the Cleveland City Stars resulting in a big save for Tim Melia, his first of the evening. And he's called upon to make it in a big way there as Tenoff lays it off for Hodgkin. He gets the shot away, also got the rebound, and tried a diving header that left a bit to be desired. But Cleveland waking up here late in the first half. Jason Hodgkin with a great opportunity, and Ryan Hines clears it out of play for the Rochester Rhinos. So two great opportunities, one for Rochester's Atieno, And that one for Hodgkin with some help from Godfrey Tenoff. Hodgkin again, slide tackle, takes down Kenton, but gets the ball first and slides again. This time it's possession for Cruikshank. Pierre St. Louis. Kenny Burt's not far away when St. Louis has the ball. 39th minute. Health Source Chiropractic, your partners in complete health, a sponsor of tonight's broadcast. Question into the box. St. Louis looking for the offsides call, and we get it late. Better late than never for the Rochester Rhinos, as Cleveland has found a way through the heart and soul of the Rochester defense. Burtz and Sancho and Kenton. Pato Aguilera trying a quick restart there, but offsides. So both teams with great opportunities here in half number one. Long goal kick by Tim Melia. Played forward, and the foul there on Atieno. He and Troy Roberts getting tangled up. Roberts tries to quick restart. It goes off the back of Atieno, and he's going to get a yellow card here in the 40th minute for delay of game. So Atieno picking up a yellow card for Rochester, really for a foolish reason, as the quick restart taken by the Puerto Rico Islanders. Rochester, 40th minute, trying to get back into this one now. Long ball looking for Atieno. And Gilstrap able to come off his line and win it at the corner of the 18. Throwing deep in the Cleveland half of the field. Conte and Atieno getting tangled up inside the box. John Ball looking for some movement here. He's going to play it to Johnny Manyanger. Quickly back to John Ball. One-on-one with Stovall. Good slide tackle there. And John Ball, the last one to touch it for the Rhinos. Throw in for the Cleveland City Stars. This one has kind of opened up just a little bit here. John Ball, quick restart inside the 18 on the throw to Johnny Manyanger, as Godfrey Tenoff comes up and plays it to Pato Aguilera. Now to Cruikshank on the far side. Good shoulder challenge there, as Earl's able to keep it in, but Kleshchin gets possession for Cleveland City. Played forward looking for Pato Aguilera. He cannot possess the ball. Johnny Manyanger trying to pop one through on the far side. Atieno on his horse, and Kleshchin beats him to the ball. Should be a throw-in for Rochester in the 42nd minute, as the rain continues to fall. Not the most ideal conditions for soccer. Rochester with a throw-in on the far side to Manyanger at the top of the 18. Plays it back to Earls, but possessed now, and it's set deep into Rochester's half of the field. Burtz plays it back to Tim Melia, who's been called upon, and he's made himself big so far in this first half. Atieno draws a defender with him, tries to play the flick to the on-rushing Manyanger, but it's won there by Cleveland. Played forward to Pato Aguilera. Chips it forward to Hodgkin on this near side. He's behind Kenton. Hodgkin inside the 18. Hard low cross to the top of the 18. It's still City Stars ball. Now they're forced outside the 18. Cruikshank couldn't get the shot off. Played inside the 18 again. Tenoff, hard low cross. Timmy Melia makes a diving save outside the 6, and a quick restart here by the Rhinos. Melia, two big saves here in the first half. Rochester with the quick distribution. Manyanger to John Ball. Ball now slowing things down. Coming to Kenton. Hodgkin has found a way to get behind Darren Kenton a couple times here in the first half. 43rd minute, no score. Burtz and the Rhinos slowing things down just a bit here. They're going to play it all the way back to Tim Melia. Shots are even, according to my extremely unofficial statistics. 43rd minute, Johnny Manyanger at midfield. Tenoff forcing him back to Darren Kenton, and he knocks it up out of play off of Jason Hodgkin, the 30-year-old. He's played with Philadelphia in the Major Indoor Soccer League, also played in the German and Swedish second division. And looked pretty good here in Rochester. Looks good tonight in Cleveland as well. In the preseason, Hodgkin was one player who stood out, I thought, for Cleveland. And showing it again tonight. Here's Pato. Plays it back. Stovall chipping it forward. Sancho with the header at midfield. Hines tries to get it down. but it's taken off his foot. Ball's being bounced around at midfield. Finally cleared out of play in the 44th minute. And a throw-in for the City Stars. On the far side, Earls winning possession for Rochester. Lets it roll out of play, and it'll be a goal kick for Tim Melia and the Rochester Rhinos. Two good early opportunities for Rochester, Hines and Atieno, and Hodgkin and Tenoff connecting for the Cleveland City Stars, trying to make something happen here as we are scoreless in the 45th minute. Melia with the benefit of the wind at his back. Long ball by Hines, pops it up in the air. Just knocks the Cleveland player off the ball, and Rochester will get the throw-in on the far side. Tiger Fitzpatrick. Traffic all over the place. Ball's unable to sneak through anywheres as Cleveland will track it down on the far side. Troy Roberts on the field turf surface here at Middlefield Cheese Stadium, surrounded by the track. Question, gloves and all. Takes the throw-in. Not too far. And it's headed forward by Hines. Approaching minute number 45. Atieno. Ball's played off Cleveland. Another throw-in. We've had at least a dozen throw-ins from the far side. You can see Rochester has had a lot of play on that far side. They're now in stoppage time. Haven't seen any indication yet. And there's going to be actually no stoppage time as we've played 45 minutes from the Middlefield Cheese Stadium. Rochester and Cleveland are scoreless after 45. Stick around. It's the halftime show coming up next on Rochester's
the Rhinos
Country 107.
on Country 107.3. 45 minutes down, 45 to go. This is the Country 107.3 halftime show. Let's head back to the stadium and the voice of the Rochester Rhinos, Joe Giuliano.
All right, 45 minutes in the books, no score, Rochester and Cleveland, the Middlefield Cheese Stadium on a windy, rainy night. We are scoreless. The halftime show brought to you by Marina Dodge. The first half recap is also brought to you by Time Warner, the MLS Direct Kick. Don't miss out on all the action. Call Time Warner Cable today to order the MLS Direct Kick soccer package. Well, our stats are extremely unofficial, but we're looking at them anyways. Yellow cards in the first half. One in the 4th minute to Cleveland City's Stephen Cruikshank. And then in the 40th minute, one to Rochester's Ty Atieno, I believe, for delay of game. Looking at shots, Rochester with 4, Cleveland with 4 as well. Again, these are unofficial. Corner kicks in that half, Cleveland with none, Rochester with 3. And saves, 5 for Hunter Gilstrap and 3 for Tim Melia. Both goalkeepers have looked very solid this evening in the nets for their respective teams. So let's look at our first half stats. Stick around. When we come back, we caught up with Rhinos goalkeeper Scott Vello. That's coming up next on the halftime show brought to you by Marina Dodge on Rochester's Country 107.3.
The Rhinos on Country 107.3.
And welcome back to the Rochester Rhinos halftime show brought to you by Marina Dodge. I'm Joe Giuliano. And 45 minutes have been played in Cleveland, and there is no score. There have been opportunities in the first half. Ty Atieno, Ryan Hines for Rochester, and Jason Hodgkin for the Cleveland City Stars. And I think the goalkeepers tonight have been a huge story. Timmy Melia for Rochester and Hunter Gilstrap for the Cleveland City Stars. And speaking of goalkeepers, we had a chance to catch up with Scott Vello, the Rhinos goalkeeper, and got his thoughts on the start to the 2009 season when last year in the preseason there was doubts of even having a soccer team. This year, some stability. How did that help the Rochester Rhinos prepare for 2009?
What kind of things do you do to keep sharp and be ready for the upcoming season? We do a lot of lateral movement, a lot of plyometric work, not so much weightlifting, trying to handle as many balls as I can. I actually worked out at a facility, a speed and acceleration facility called Athletic Republic, which is a great facility that just concentrates on increasing your vertical jump, your speed, your acceleration, all those things. So it's I think it helped me, and it's put me in a good spot for the preseason here. Now this year in front of you, you're going to have a lot of different faces, different players coming in and leaving as well. Ross Smith, a big injury. Talk about the loss of Smith. Well, first of all, we want to make sure that Ross is healthy, and kind of had some heart issues, and he's getting those taken care of. So we definitely want to, send our well wishes to Ross. But we miss him more in the locker room. He's a funny guy, but we definitely miss him on the pitch as well. He's dominant in the air. He's a good organizer. He's a maniac out there sometimes, and he definitely brings something to the table that we're going to miss this year. And that's why we brought in guys to the likes of Brent Sancho who can jump in there and hopefully fill those big shoes.
We'll talk about those guys in just a second. But Scott Pelguda going to Major League Soccer with a team you're familiar with, the Colorado Rapids of MLS. Also the loss of Pelguda. Talk about that just a little bit.
Well, every year you're going to rotate players. It's just the nature of professional sports. And this year happened to be a few center backs. So it's, I think the management's done a great job. The coaching staff has done a great job at identifying players that can fit those roles. So even though two guys leave, we bring two guys in that can definitely do the job.
Talking about two guys coming in who can do the job. Brent Sancho, player, assistant coach. Talk about how he's adjusted to the guys who are going to play in front of you.
Well, Brent's definitely a lead by example type of guy. He has a great resume. Played in the World Cup. So it's definitely he's got a lot of experience back there. So just his knowledge and understanding of the game, his tactical awareness, definitely is something that's going to bring a lot to the table. So I'm really excited to have him back there. His style is a bit more of an organizer, which definitely takes a lot of pressure off the goalkeeper because you don't have to worry about pulling strings back there, just kind of making saves and picking up crosses.
Talking about another player with some experience coming over from England, Darren Kenton. How's he fitting in now with the boys?
He's doing great. He's a ball winner. He's a hard tackler. He's got great vision. He can play the ball from the right side all the way to the left side. And looking forward to.
That is Darren Kenton. He's talking about with Scott Vallow as the Rochester Rhinos and the Cleveland City Stars are scoreless after 45 minutes of play. And I think Scott Vallow got a little tired there in the interview. We'll have to check on Scott and see how he's feeling there. No, it's just my lovely technical situation. But great interview with Scott Vallow. Be sure to stick around. Coming up, we'll have a little recap again of the first half and also talk about some of our sponsors and some upcoming events at Rhinos Soccer Stadium. The Rhinos will be back home on May the 30th. We'll talk about that as well. No score after 45 minutes, Rochester and Cleveland. This is the Marina Dodge Halftime Show on Rochester's Country 107.3.
The Rhinos on Country 107.3.
And welcome back. The Halftime Show brought to you by Marina Dodge. I'm Joe Giuliano. This is game number 4 of the season for the Rochester Rhinos. 1-1-1 with a win tonight. They can jump up to 7 points ahead of Miami FC, and they'll be in second place, 3 points behind the Carolina Railhawks. Don't forget the Rhinos home opener is on May the 30th. The Montreal Impact come to town. It's a 7:30 kickoff. Season tickets starting as low as $99. Call 454-5425. And individual game tickets also going on sale, I believe, on May 16th. That will begin as well. And don't forget, every game, home and away, can be heard right here on Rochester's Country 107.3 with me, Joe Giuliano, and former Rhinos coach and USL Hall of Famer Pat Erkley, who hopefully will be with us next week as the Rhinos go to Montreal and Saputo Stadium. I also like to send some thanks out to providers of tonight's broadcast, 20-Toe Photo, the official photographer for the Rochester Rhinos. For game action photos, go to 20toephoto.com. And Dr. Donald Dudley, certified chiropractic sports practitioner. He's the team chiropractor for the Rochester Rhinos. Patients are now being accepted at 90 Erie Canal Drive in Greece in the Canal Ponds Medical Complex. For more information and appointments, please call 225-6430 and visit the website healthsourcechiropractic.com. That's 225-6430. Dr. Donald Dudley and Health Source Chiropractic, your partners in complete health. Well, that'll do it for the halftime show. When we come back, the teams should take the field. It is raining, it is windy, it is very wet at the Middlefield Cheese Stadium. And it looks like Rochester will be going into the wind in half number 2. Hopefully Ty Atieno and Ryan Hines or someone for Rochester can find the back of the net as the Rhinos look to pick up 3 points in some very adverse conditions in Cleveland, Ohio. So stick around. Coming up, much more here on Rochester's Country
on Country 107.3.
Tonight's venue, Middlefield Cheese Stadium in Bedford, Ohio. The Cleveland City Stars are on the pitch to begin half number 2. The Rochester Rhinos in the all gold or yellow, whatever you want to call it, are heading out to the pitch right now as they take to the field for half number 2. We have no score after 45 minutes of play, Rochester and Cleveland. And we'll see if there's any substitutions coming up to start half number 2. Looks like Pierre St. Louis is going to be, or Pierre Louis is going to still stay up top for Cleveland City. But I think the story so far has been the goalkeepers. Tim Melia and Hunter Gilstrap have done a tremendous job in the goal crease tonight for the Rochester Rhinos and the Cleveland City Stars. So Rochester will be kicking off now. They'll be attacking the goal to my left, again in the all-yellow jerseys, as the Cleveland City Stars making a habit of this ritual, circling up and then starting to move back and forth, swinging their hips, as Gilstrap and Pato Aguilera trying to keep warm here. The referee ready to go. Rochester looking over their lineup. Looks like same starting 11. Can't see any changes just yet, but we'll take a closer look at that as we get ready to begin our second half. Looks like the rain may have slowed down just a little bit here, and that could actually help Rochester. Looks like they were going to be going into the wind and into the driving rain to start half number 2. It looks like things have kind of calmed down at the Middlefield Cheese Stadium. Looks like no changes from either side to start the second half, but not confirmed that just yet. Rod Underwood looking for his first win as the head coach of the Cleveland City Stars, and taking on the Rochester Rhinos, trying to do something very uncharacteristic in the USL First Division. Win on the road. It's only been done once in 16 games, and it's been done by your boys from Rochester. Here we go. Kickoff underway. Atieno and Menyanger. Second half action, as it is Kenton on the far side. Kenny Burtz to Danny Earls. Tries to cut it back, and Chris Nurse forced to come in hard on the challenge there. He's taken down and should have a free kick coming up for Rochester, but Earls put Kenny Burtz or Chris Nurse into a very dangerous situation with the poor service to the Rhinos holding midfielder. Should be a kick coming up here for the Rhinos, and it is. In their own half of the field, Kenny Burtz will send a booming kick deep into Cleveland half of the field. Ball takes a bounce. Headed up there. Right-footed shot, hard and low, and a save there by Hunter Gilstrap. First shot of the half for the Rochester Rhinos by number 27, Ty Atieno. Another save for Gilstrap. That's his 6th of the game. Headed out of bounds, and actually kicked out of bounds now by Tenoff for a throw-in given up to the Rochester Rhinos. Godfrey Tenoff, the number 8, 30-year-old, second year with Cleveland. Also played with Minnesota and Indiana in the USL First Division. Hines again is hammered on the sideline here by Cruikshank, who's going to want to be careful here. He's had a couple physical challenges. 2 yellow cards, 1 to each team in the first half. 47th minute, Danny Earls with the left-footed restart to the top of the 18. Atieno trying to get up. He cannot get around Canoe, who heads it back, but Nurse flicked in the air by John Ball. Corner of the 18, the far side, played up and off of this Cleveland defender by Atieno. Another corner kick coming up for the Rochester Rhinos on the far side. Atieno, what a work rate he brings to the table. Corner kick for Rochester. Tiger Fitzpatrick. Left-footed kick, in-swinger on the far side. Corner of the 6, flicked up in the air off the Cleveland defender, Conte, and it'll be another corner kick for the Rhinos. Corner kick number 5. Tiger going to try to make this one perfect. High cross into the box. Kenny Burtz is taken down inside the box. He is undercut, and the referee is pointing to the spot. We have a penalty kick for the Rochester Rhinos, and there's going to be a yellow card issued as well in the 48th minute as Kenny Burtz went up for the header on the high corner kick from Tiger Fitzpatrick, and he is undercut inside the box. Rochester gets a penalty kick, and we had the luxury of watching the replay. Conte definitely taking down Kenny Burtz. That's another yellow card in the 48th minute. Rochester goes to the spot. Minute number 49 now. Can the Rhinos make it count? As the Rochester Rhinos with a huge opportunity. Ibrahim Conte, the 27-year-old, undercutting Kenny Burtz. Penalty kick for Rochester in the 49th minute. Looks like it's going to be Atieno who takes it for Rochester. Would a goal be wonderful here for him who deserves it after all of his hard work? Gilstrap on the line. Atieno getting ready for the PK. Referee setting him upside the 18. Here we go. Atieno, Gilstrap. Ball's on the 12. Atieno steps up, shoots! He scores! Goal! Rochester! In the 49th minute, Ty Atieno opens his account with the Rochester Rhinos. It's on the PK. Rochester with a 1-0 lead as he drills it right down the center of the goal. Gilstrap goes right. Atieno goes down the middle. His account is open, and again, we talked about it. Atieno, he could open up a lot more goals for the Rochester Rhinos. It's 1-0 in minute number 50 on the PK. Rochester leads. Kenny Burtz now with the ball for the Rhinos. Tries to push it forward, and it's cleared deep into the Cleveland half of the field. Rochester, what a way to start the second half. Crookshank on the near flank. It's a foot race. Burtz and Louis as Melia comes out to help out his defender. Kenny Burtz undercut inside the box by Conte. Referee calls the PK. To the top of the 18. Played here now by Chris Nurse. He's coming to the far side, or to the near side. He's taken down in front of the Rhinos bench. Kleshchin puts it inside the 18. Left there for Pato Aguilera. Takes the right-footed shot up and over the bar. So for Ty Atieno, his first goal of the year in the 49th minute. Rochester with a 1-0 lead. And again, well-deserved for Ty Atieno. Puts it in the back of the net. He works so hard off the ball. And he had a great opportunity in the first half, this time from the 12. No mistake, as Rochester has a 1-0 lead. Goal kick right to midfield. Headed out of bounds by Kanu. It'll be a throw-in for the Rhinos. And you can see where the physical play of Cleveland City gets them into trouble. 2 yellow cards, one leading to a PK. And that's something that Coach Underwood's going to want to have to clean up if they stay competitive in this USL First Division. There's Crookshank. Plays it to Pato Aguilera. And he gives it away to Ty Atieno. Pops up in the air off his hand and out of bounds. Throw in for Cleveland City. Rochester leading in the 52nd minute, 1-0. Cleveland City looking for their first points of the year. Handball call there. Kleshchin, long ball to the far side that Kenny Burtz gets up and wins the header. Goes out of bounds. Throw in for Hodgkin as the rain's starting to pick up once again in Cleveland. Hodgkin looking for some numbers in the box. We'll see if he's got a long throw in. And he does inside the 18 that Burtz wins. It goes off the foot of Burtz, off the foot of Jason Hodgkin, and it will be a throw-in for the Rochester Rhinos, who have a 1-0 lead. And again, trying to make something unusual happen here, picking up points away from home with the W's as they have a 1-0 lead 52 minutes in. Kenton, long throw-in up off the head of Atieno and out of bounds. There's the Stars with a throw-in about 35 yards out on the far side. Throw-in is heading towards the end line. Tenoff does a good job to keep it in. Should be out of play as Melia makes a diving save. And let's see what the call is here. Should be a goal kick as Tenoff did a good job to turn the corner in the tight space. Just goes out of play, and it is a goal kick coming up for the Rochester Rhinos. Tonight's game presented by Northern Eagle Realtors, Rochester's full-service realtor, Marina Dodge and Marina Mitsubishi, located at 941 Ridge Road in Webster. 53rd minute, Rochester, 1-0 lead on a goal by Ty Atieno on the PK. As Fitzpatrick does a good job winning it up in the air for Johnny Manyanger. But Canu takes possession, and they play it forward to Pato Aguilera, who's really having trouble possessing the ball tonight. Loses it to Danny Earls. Plays it on the far side to John Ball. Ball with some space. High chip into the box. Atieno off the chest at the top of the 18. Lays it off for Tiger Fitzpatrick, near side. Tiger splits two defenders. Corner of the 18, cross into the box. A diving slide there. It looks like Chris Nurse had a great opportunity to get out of it. Actually, it was John Ball. As Tiger Fitzpatrick did a tremendous job splitting two defenders. Corner of the 18 on the near side. And John Ball is just lunging in there with the right foot. It's set out of play and a goal kick for the Cleveland City Stars. Tiger doing a great job just splitting the defenders, leaving them standing still looking for the ball and for Tiger. There's Sancho just stepping in, booming it out of play, throw in now for the Cleveland City Stars. 54th minute, no changes yet for either side. Joe Giuliano, tonight's venue, the Middlefield Cheese Stadium in Bedford, Ohio. If you're just tuning in, Timmy Melia has gotten the start over Scott Vallow tonight. I'm not sure if there was an injury or just Tim Melia giving an opportunity by Coach Tilley. We'll have to check on that. Good flick there. As it is going to be the Rhinos pushing through. Manyanger is taken down. And the referee says no foul, but we'll give you the corner kick instead. The sixth corner kick of the night for Rochester. Atieno did a great job on the flick. And it's Kleshchin and Manyanger getting tangled up inside the 18. And Rochester will have a corner kick in the 55th minute. As Manyanger and Rochester looking to go short on this one. We'll see what they do. They do go short. Hines, corner of the 18, chipped forward, headed away there by Conte. Play to the top of the 18. Tiger gets a right-footed volley off. It's up to Atieno, and Rochester has scored. Johnny Manyanger has scored for the Rochester Rhinos. The referee's assistant is getting attacked. The play completely died. It is a goal for Rochester in the 56th minute, and Johnny Manyanger smiles all around. As he is in front of the net, the play stops. As he is smiling up and down the field here, Manyanger has scored his third goal of the year in just wild fashion. It's a left-footed volley by Tiger Fitzpatrick. Conte was the one who kept Johnny Manyanger on sides. As they say, Atieno was not involved in the play. So Rochester now with a 2-0 lead thanks to Johnny Manyanger. And Cleveland City is all over the referee's assistant as Manyanger should get the goal with some help from Atieno and Tiger Fitzpatrick. That was a wild goal. If you're not watching it on TV, that was a wild goal, folks. Johnny Manyanger credited with his third of the year, and Atieno Fitzpatrick with the helpers there. What's going to be interesting here is to see Johnny Manyanger was definitely onside. There's no doubt about that. Atieno may have been close to being in an offsides position. He got the ball off his stomach. Then Manyanger put it in the empty net to make it 2-0. So, interesting situation here. Cleveland is now down 2-0. Maybe with a little help, Rochester makes it Johnny Manyanger and Atieno make it 2-0. So wild stuff here on that play. And I thought the referee was going to blow the whistle. I mean, there was just Rochester, Atieno, and Manyanger again, 1-on-1, 2-on-none with the goalkeeper. As Gilstrap and the City Stars immediately charged the referee's assistant on the far side. Here's Kanu. Played out of play there, and Kenton tried to step in. Actually, it was Earls that knocks it out of bounds. Yeah, we do have a substitution who's come on now. Eric Carpenter, number 3, has come on after all the hoopla, the rookie from Bethel College, the 22-year-old. Rochester looking for more as John Ball streaking down the right flank, trying to make something happen. Slide tackle out of play. Stovall, angry tackle there as I'm sure they're not a happy bunch of players right now. Carpenter, a midfielder. We'll see who he's replaced. Again, during all that hoopla, as they were attacking the referee's assistant, didn't get to see who Carpenter has come on for. Throw in for Rochester, and that's going to be on the far side. Darren Kenton to Tiger Fitzpatrick at the corner of the 18. Tiger bodied off the ball, and long clearance by the Cleveland City Stars to midfield. Sancho heads it forward. There's John Ball to Chris Nurse. Rochester having their way right now. 59th minute. Danny Earls a little too far in the push, but able to maintain possession for the Rhinos. Earls to Hines. Tries to cross it back to the top of the 18 to Atieno, and it's knocked out of play. 7th corner kick for the Rhinos. And that last one leading to a goal under just wild circumstances. Rochester going short again. Corner kick on the near side. It's Hines and Johnny Manyanger. Played to Manyanger. Played back to Hines. Corner of the 18. Cross-driven. Headed away there by Canu. John Ball bounces over his foot on the far side. Kenny Burtz back to John Ball. Good 1-2. Ball taken down hard outside the 18. We continue to play. It was Conte with the tough challenge there on John Ball. Pato lays it off for Hodgkin. Pushes it way too far forward for Pato Aguilera, the 29-year-old. And Rochester with Johnny Manyanger on the near side, one-on-one. Cross into the box looking for Atieno. Flicked up and in the air, out of play. Should be a corner kick for Rochester. The corner kick's really starting to add up for the Rhinos. Their 8th corner kick of the game. I think about a 2-0 lead in the 60th minute. Manyanger's goal coming in minute number 56. Tiger Fitzpatrick on the far side with the corner kick. Here he goes. Good driven ball, the corner of the 6. Cleared out of play. Ladies and gentlemen, we have corner kick number 9 for the Rochester Rhinos. Canu cleared that one out of play. The 26-year-old Tiger. Another high cross. Kenny Burtz with the header. Headed across the goal mouth. No one there for Rochester. Cleared away by the Stars. Earls, great switch of play here. Looking for Tiger Fitzpatrick just a little bit up over his head, as there was some space there on the far side. 61st minute. Rochester with a 2-0 lead over the Cleveland City Stars. Throw in for Cleveland on the far side. Looks like there's a player down inside the Cleveland box. Conte, Ibrahim Conte, number 4, might be coming off as well, as Rod Underwood and the City Stars looking to go to the bench again. Looks like number 9, Max Cream, getting ready to check in. Cream is a forward. Conte getting a look at from the trainer. Cream, a 21-year-old. Looking to make something happen here late in the game for Rod Underwood and the Cleveland City Stars. We'll see who Cream replaces. Also looks like Paul Ballard warming up as well, getting off his warm-up suit. He's a defender, 25-year-old. And Conte's got the left thigh heavily taped. He's going to slowly walk off the pitch, and we'll see if he's the one who gets replaced by Max Cream. Could be a forward for a defender. In the 62nd minute, other sponsors include Salvatore's Pizza, the family born and raised in Rochester and proud of it. The Smoking and Health Action Coalition. Smoking and Health Action Coalition. For more information, go to smokefreemonroe.com. Is Conte slowly coming to the sideline, and he does come off. Number 22, Paul Ballard, is on, replacing Ibrahim Conte. And Max Cream did not get the okay to come onto the pitch yet. Conte is the one again who took down Kenny Burtz for the PK, leading to Rochester's first goal of the evening. Looks like Cream has now finally come on. So Pierre Louis will have some help up top. As Ballard gets his first touch. Crookshank. Troy Roberts. Question with the left-footed ball forward. To Ballard. Now it's Cream. First touch pops up in the air, and it's played all the way back into the Cleveland half of the field. 63rd minute, 2-0 Rochester. Atieno and Manyanger with the goals. And Manyanger's goal was a strange one, folks. No offsides called. Play to the whistle. Good job by Johnny Manyanger. Working hard, making it happen. Hodgkin, a difficult night. Had a good opportunity in the first half. As another substitution getting ready to come in. Cream looks like he wants to enter, but the referee says not yet. Throw in for Rochester, about 35 yards out on the far side. Going to hold up here, and we will get the substitution now. Max Cream, 21-year-old, played in Ireland, Scotland. He's got dual citizenship in the U.S. and the UK. Pierre Louis is the player coming off, and Ricardo Pierre Louis, the player who has scored the only goal of the year. Really a tough night for him. The Haitian international with no help up top. He is really against two defenders, Sancho and Burks, all night long. Now it's Max Cream's turn to see what he can do against that very solid central defense of Rochester. 64th minute. John Ball on the far side, sprinting down. Crosses the ball to the top of the 18, and Younger whiffs on it. And it's cleared away by the City Stars. Max Cream gets around Sancho. Pushes it forward to Pato Aguilera. Tries to play it back to Cream. And broken up by the Rhinos. Ball's let go through here. On the near side, cross to the box. Sancho clears it away. Top of the 18. Tiger Fitzpatrick to John Ball. Far side, crossing midfield. Atieno. Slowing things down, now coming forward. A little lazy challenge there from Kante. Atieno says, I'll take possession still. He'll play it back to Chris Nurse. John Ball. Chris Nurse again, far side. Trying to push it forward for Kenton. Right there and off of Darren Kenton. Throw in coming up for Troy Roberts and the Cleveland City Stars. 65th minute. The Rhinos with a 2-0 lead. They will be back in action on Saturday, 3:45 in Montreal, Saputo Stadium. 3:15 pregame show right here on Country 107.3. Rochester with a win tonight, a win on Sunday, could be heading into Montreal in great form. Slide tackle there by Canu. Played to Tenoff. Left foot chip forward looking for Cream. Hodgkin on the far side. Gets it to Cream. Nice touch inside to Pato Aguilera. Looking for Hodgkin. He's behind the defense. Can he keep it in bounds on the far side? Good job there by Hodgkin to knock it up off of Brent Sancho. Should be a corner kick for the Cleveland City Stars, as Hodgkin has not stopped talking to the official. 66th minute. Cleveland trying to get back into this game as they get their first corner kick of the night. 66 minutes into the match. Pato Aguilera, very dangerous on these restarts. Corner kick from the far side. Inside the 6, headed away there by Darren Kenton. Play to the far side. Pato's got possession of it now for Cleveland. Driven cross at the 6. Chris Nurse gets up for the header. Leaves it there for Tiger Fitzpatrick. 66th minute, throw in for Cleveland at midfield. It'll be taken here by Canu. Or check that Stovall. Plays it inside to Pato Aguilera. Tries to keep it in bounds, and it does not. It'll be a throw-in for the Rochester Rhinos. Tonight's game also presented by the Strath Allen Hotel. Experience it all. 20-toe photo for Rhinos action photos. Visit 20toephoto.com. And World Gym, real gyms, real people, real results. It's the World Gym. Here we go now, 35 yards out. Eric Carpenter tries to knock it off the Rhino defender, and should be another corner kick coming up for the Cleveland City Stars on the near side. Carpenter, who's come on here, the 22-year-old rookie midfielder, played at Bethel College. See if Cleveland goes with a short corner kick here. As Hodgkin and Aguilera looking for their 10 yards. 67th minute. Cleveland trying to fight back into this one here. Amelia. Cross at the corner of the 6. Headed away there by John Ball. Rochester good defending on the set piece. Pato to Canu. High chip into the box. Amelia comes off his line, wins it at the 6, and makes his fourth save of the evening tonight. The distribution a little too far there for Kenton, and Cleveland gets a quick restart to Max Cream. On the far side, top of the 18, looking for Cream, and cleared away there by Brent Sancho. Here's Younger. He and Canu get tangled up. Fancy little footwork there, splits the defense. And Younger finds Ryan Hines, slide tackle there. Out of play by Question. And Hines and the Rhinos looking for a ball. It looks like Nano short. The defender will come on for Rochester shortly here in the 68th minute. He is checking in with the fourth official. So Short, the 24-year-old, played at Lynn University. And is going to look downfield and see a familiar face in the nets. He was roommates with Tim Melia in college at Lynn University. Rhinos with possession on the far side. Darren Kenton to Chris Nurse. First touch is a little hard. Forces it, and it's a giveaway now. Hotchkin knocked out of play. Throw in for the Cleveland City Stars. Canu. Some pressure coming from John Ball. Pushing forward now come the Stars. Long ball from the near side. And not going to happen. Tim Melia takes it on the hop. He has had a very good game tonight. One big save in the first half. It's been pretty solid coming off his line, anticipating for the youngster, 23 years old. Good flick by Menyanger. Trying to get Hines here on the near side, but it rolls into the box. Hunter Gilstrap, who's not going to be happy with either of the goals tonight. Here's Question. With the right foot, Berth's little body there. It goes to Eric Carpenter, who just puts it up in the air looking for anything. And it goes off the head of Kenton. And for Cleveland, they'll pick up a fortunate throw in here as we're going to slow things down and get ready for a substitution in the 70th minute. Nathaniel Short, the 24-year-old defender, coming on. He's going to replace Johnny Menyager, who scored for the Rochester Rhinos in the 56th minute. And again, you go back to that goal. Interesting situation as Menyager picked up his third goal of the year. So Short in for Menyager in the 70th minute. Rochester with a 2-0 lead. Far side, John Ball plays it forward to Atieno. Good job fighting off the Cleveland defenders. Pato, good little flick there. He's taken down. And Cleveland's 10-off maintains possession. Hotchkin, left-footed cross, header, and it's out of the Rhinos box. Left-footed driven forward by Short, trying to get Atieno free, and Gilstrap is on his line, 35 yards out, plays it forward to Warren Canu. Chris Nurse takes possession over for Rochester. John Ball with some space on the far side. Cross into the box, Gilstrap off his arms, popped up in the air and into the resting hands of Hunter Gilstrap, who had some trouble with that cross into the box. It bounces out of his hands, and it goes back up in the air, and Gilstrap able to prevent number 3 from going in behind him. Here's Max Cream, who's come on to replace Pierre Louis. To Eric Carpenter, good move to get around Danny Earls. Tries to cut inside. Ball's played back to Gordon Question. Ball inside the 18 in the air that Bertz easily scoops up. Knocked forward here by the Rhinos. Earls and Tiger try to connect, and Hines can't keep it in play. Throw in for Cleveland City. Here's Pato Aguilera. Hard slide tackle there. And they're going to say it's a throw-in coming up. It's actually Max Cream who's taken down. Nano Short for Rochester. 21-year-old Max Cream. Played for Dundee United, Shelbourne in Ireland. Overall 4 years in Europe. There's Tiger now, 72nd minute. Right in the middle of the field. John Ball for Darren Kenton. Some sloppy play on that far side as it's popped way up in the air. Tiger does a nice job to settle the ball, puts it back onto the carpet. Fancy touch there from John Ball. Kenton, Sancho playing it forward. Atieno, player all over his back as Paul Ballard, a substitute who's come on here in the second half, takes down Atieno. No call. Warren Canu to Pato. To Eric Carpenter. Playing on the left side here. Earls marking him closely. Another giveaway by Cleveland. There's going to be a foul, though, behind the play as the City Stars win a free kick. And there's going to be a word had with Ty Atieno. As the referee, no card. I think maybe a little late there on the challenge against Gordon Kleshkin. Long ball played up in the box. Kenton wins the header. Kanu tries to play it forward. And the flick on is there, but no one running off the ball for Cleveland. And Tim Melia will take his time here and get the play under control. Finally, pressure coming from Cleveland in the 73rd minute as Melia scoops it up. He's going to play it deep with the punt. And look at the length on this one. Almost to the top of the 18. Good step there by Earls. Loses possession. Foul called. Maybe a slide tackle with the boots exposed. Free kick for Cruikshank. And the Cleveland City Stars. Actually, it's Kleshkin will take it instead. Long ball. Player knocked off 35 yards out. Dead center. Hodgkin shoulder challenge. And again, he's with the referee as he and Darren Kenton just kind of colliding there. Both going for the ball. No call. We continue to play. Tiger Fitzpatrick to John Ball on the far side. Back to Tiger. 25 yards out. Atieno. Possession here short. Bad giveaway 35 yards out. And here come the City Stars. Paul Ballard. Playing it into the Reynolds half of the field and another giveaway. Chris Nurse, thank you very much. Back to Danny Earls, and what a challenge there by Max Cream as he takes Earls down in front of the Cleveland bench. That's a poor foul there by number 9, Max Cream, and he's got to go in the book at least with a yellow card as Earls ends up in the air on the back of Max Cream. And we're in the 75th minute. We'll see what the decision is here. Earls got around one Cleveland player. There's going to be a free kick. And no card. Very surprised not to see a card come out as Max Cream, really no intent to play the ball, just coming in and barreling into Danny Earls. Referee, that time there, maybe a little too lenient as Earls got around Aguilera and Max Cream just coming in with a vicious challenge right in front of the bench. No call, just a free kick for Rochester. Here's Hines. He's taken down as Kanu rides the back of Ryan Hines. And again, Cleveland has gotten 2 red cards in the season. They've picked up 2 yellow cards tonight, and you can see maybe the lack of skill is forcing them to resort to some physical play here tonight. Tiger Fitzpatrick chipped in the box, header down and low, and is cleared away by the Cleveland City Stars. Right-footed shot at the top of the 18, blocked by Kanu. Here's Earls now pushing in the near side. Cross into the box. Flicked up over to the far side and cleared away there by the Cleveland City Stars. Sancho plays it with the right foot out of bounds at midfield, 76th minute. It's the Rhinos with a 2-0 lead. Joe Giuliano with you tonight on Rochester's Country, 107.3. Kenton out of play. And a throw-in now for the City Stars on the far side. As the City Stars taking their knocks and their lumps in their big move up from USL D2 to USL D1. John Ball with a foul on Max Cream. That's definitely some payback there as he gets him from behind. Taking a little matter into his own hands. As he's going to look out for his fellow outside defender, Danny Earls. Pato Aguilera with a free kick from the far side. Melia, 2-man wall. Chipped to the corner of the 6, headed out of bounds. And it should be a corner kick as Ryan Hines got to the ball, but it was out of bounds already. So it'll be a goal kick for Tim Melia and the Rochester Rhinos. Other sponsors of tonight's broadcast include the Yellow Book. Yellow Book and yellowbook.com. See Yellow to the Future. And Zweigel's, the official hot dog of the Rochester Rhinos. Also got to thank Spinning Webs, Mike Moran. Tremendous job in the design of rhinosoccer.com. That's Mike Moran over at Spinning Webs. 78th minute. Goal kick for Timmy Melia. Rochester with a couple players warming up. Andrew Lerai available for substitution. Mauricio Salas. Kwame Sarkote. Mike Ambersley. Andrew Greger. And, of course, Scott Vallow also available tonight for the Rochester Rhinos. Don't forget, Sarkody was a member of Cleveland last year as they won the D2 championship. Atieno, cross from Kenton, right-footed volley, hard and low, save, and the rebound is there! Rochester has scored! Goal! Rochester! In the 78th minute, Ty Atieno has bagged number 2. Rochester scoring here in minute number 78, and it's just a good ball into the box. Right-footed volley by Hines. The rebound is sitting there, and thank you very much. Mike Ambersley will pick it up, actually. It's Ambersley in the 78th minute. Rochester sees the ball sitting on the doorstep. Ambersley has come out as a substitution and immediately finds the back of the net for his first goal of the year. Hines with a right-footed volley, and Gilstrap has had trouble all night long with those shots, leaving a rebound there for Ambersley. He makes it 3-0, a very familiar score for Cleveland City. Same scoreline they lost last week in Austin, 3-0, as the City Stars now in the 79th minute with a huge hole to climb out of. There's Chris Nurse at midfield. Plays it to Kenny Burtz. And the Rhinos making the most of their opportunities tonight. A PK by Atieno. A very interesting goal by Johnny Menyager. And then Mike Ambersley scoring in the 78th minute off of a rebound. And Rochester finds themselves in a very comfortable position. 3-0 up over the Cleveland City Stars. On the far side, Cleveland's Canu trying to make something happen. Knocks it out of play. It'll be a throw-in for Rochester. Tiger Fitzpatrick, solid performance as usual for the Rochester Rhinos. Kenton, Sancho, Burtz, Earls. It's been a good performance by the guys in back tonight. Melia, maybe take care of the post-game meal. He's had to make one big save, otherwise very quiet night for Tim Melia. Throw-in for Kenton. And Rochester spoiling the debut of the Cleveland City Stars at home in the USL First Division. The Rhinos 3-0 lead as their top form away from home continues. Imagine 8 straight games on the road. If they keep playing like this, we may have a packed house at Rhino Soccer Stadium on May the 30th. First home game against the Montreal Impact, 7:30 kickoff. Tickets available at 454-5425. Rochester on the road for 8 straight games. Winners last week and winners so far again tonight, as goal scoring has found its form in the yellow. Short. Back to Brent Sancho. He and Kenny Burtz have done a nice job side by side anchoring this Rochester Rhinos defense. Melia looking to pick up that shutout in his first start of the season. Ball's played forward. Ambersley running it down hard, forcing it to be just knocked back into the Rochester half of the field. And Darren Kenton lets it roll out of play. 81st minute throw-in for the Rhinos on the far side. And Kwame Sarkody will be checking in for Rochester. He'll be replacing Tiger Fitzpatrick. And again, Sarkody, tremendous game last week in Miami. It's a good move by Coach Tilley. Give him a chance to play against his former mates. Sarkody, who played with Cleveland last year as they won the USL D2 championship. Coming on here in the 82nd minute, replacing Tiger Fitzpatrick, who gets a round of applause from the nice contingent of Rochester Rhinos fans. Gets a hug from Coach Darren Tilley. Rochester 3-0 now, up ahead of the Cleveland City Stars. Ambersley trying to track it just inside the Cleveland half of the field. He can't. Through ball. Kenny Burtz breaks up once again. Sarkody's first touch of the game is played back to Danny Earls. Flick forward. Atieno trying to get in behind Kleshkin. Knocks him off the ball. It's inside the 18. Atieno again chasing it down. He and Stovall get tangled up in the corner, and it's given away there. John Ball, far side. Pushed inside the 18 to Sarkody. Left there, left-footed shot there by Chris Nurse, up and over the bar, as Chris Nurse, number 17, trying to get involved in the action tonight here from Middlefield Cheese Stadium. Sarkody did a nice job just laying it off there. and letting Chris Nurse come in and give it a go from 18. Hunter Gilstrap, what a night he's had. Wet, rainy conditions. Unable to hang on to the ball for the one goal there by Mike Ambersley. Darren Kenton on the far side to Ryan Hines, who's taken down after giving up the ball. And again, late, tough tackles there by the Cleveland City Stars. Won't be a card, but it'll be a free kick for Rochester. And you can see the frustration settling in. Defending champions in the USL Second Division, undefeated at home the last 2 years, but USL D2 to the USL D1. Ladies and gentlemen, it is night and day. Another challenge there. Earls and Pato Aguilera get up, pushing at one another. Actually, it was Paul Ballard. Hard challenge there. Both players sliding in. Studs exposed both ways. Ballard takes the worst of it. And he and Earls get tangled up as the referee has had a very busy night here in Cleveland. 84th minute, 3-0 Rochester. Long ball played into the box, and Cleveland just does not have any creativity coming forward. Sancho and Burtz have read every single thing. As there is a player down now on the pitch, it's it's actually Jason Hodgkin holding the back of his head. As we'll see what the situation is here. Talking to Ambersley. Trying to sort things out here. There's definitely some contact behind the play. Hodgkin again holding the back of his neck. And he's been physical as well tonight. He's been up and down the official a few times. Lucky not to see the yellow come out. As the free kick comes from Melia. Looking for Ambersley. And it's cleared away there by Canu. A throw in for the Rhinos in the 85th minute. Earls. Sarkody. Kenton. Looking for Atieno. Knocked out of play here. Throwing for the Rochester Rhinos. 3-0 lead in Cleveland. As the debut, the home opener, not going like the City Stars had hoped. Atieno off the thigh. Played to the top of the 18, off the boot, and cleared away by the Cleveland City Stars to the far sideline. Coming forward now. Looking for some help and some movement off the ball. Pato Aguilera takes it and turns at the midfield circle, puts it through the legs of Nurse, and a great recovery tackle there by Mike Ambersley. Here come the Rhinos. Atieno to Ambersley on the near side. Ambersley looking for some help here. Gets Max Cream and double team. Throw-in coming up for Cleveland City. Well, they think they have it, but maybe it will go to Rochester, and it does. 86th minute, Earls slowly trotting over for the throw-in on the near side. Checking back for the ball is Ambersley. Earls tries to get around two defenders and can't. Cleveland City with the ball now. Hodgkin loses possession to Kenny Burtz and Brent Sancho. Playing in a triangle here, short, Sancho and Burtz. Earls says, give me some action. Gets a touch here on the near side. Ambersley leaves it off for Danny Earls. Trying to go forward. Earls still with the ball. Sarkody, he's held back. No call. As Max Cream looks to go forward to Hodgkin. And again, the touch just not there for the Cleveland City Stars. 87th minute. Rochester has been in full control. Besides one little stretch there in the first half, it has been all Rhinos. Almost given away there by Conte. Question. Pressured by Ambersley. Forced to go back. Now turns around. Plays it to midfield. The Rhinos win the ball again. Hines. Knocked off the ball. Referee says play on. Hard slide tackle. Ambersley's taken down. And the City Stars come away with the ball. Hodgkin. Inside the Rhinos half of the field. Good transition here. On the far side, it's Carpenter who switched over from the near side. Crosses inside the 6, and no one there at all for the Cleveland City Stars. 87th minute as the ball goes out of play. And Cleveland City looking to make something happen here late in the game. And Rochester is going to go to the bench. And look who is entering for the first time in 2009. The creative midfielder, Z. Roberto, replacing Ty Atieno in the 88th minute. Atieno scoring for Rochester on the PK in minute number 49. And Z. Roberto actually wearing the number 12 jersey coming on tonight. He's got the tape over the name of Andrew Greger, and it's good to see Z. Roberto, who has really worked so hard in recovering from the knee injury. Corner kick, Cleveland City Stars. It's at the top of the 18, left-footed shot to Carpenter, now cleared out of play. Another corner kick coming up for Cleveland. That's their fourth of the game in the 88th minute. Sarkody with the clearance for the Rhinos. So Z. Roberto making his season debut. Gets a couple of minutes here. Aguilera with the free kick from the near side. Good service in the box, headed down into the turf. No one there for Cleveland as Rochester clears it out of play, and a throw-in coming up for Pato Aguilera. And it's going to be a player down inside the Rhinos box for Cleveland, as there was some contact and some challenges there as Godfrey Tenoff, the 30-year-old, gets into the mix there. Took an elbow, looks like, to the side of the head from Nano Short inside the Rhinos 6. And the referee says no foul. We'll play on here. There's the restart to Canu. Left-footed cross into the box. Carpenter and Kenton get tangled up off Darren Kenton, and the throw-in in the 89th minute for the Cleveland City Stars. Carpenter, long throw-in into the box. Flips back to the top of the 18 where Hines clears it away for the Rhinos. Question. Cleveland City with 3 in the back, it looks like right now. Trying to make something happen, get something positive out of this result. It has been all Rochester. Far side, Kenton, Kenton and Tenoff get tangled up. 90th minute, Rochester will be a happy bunch of players heading back home as they prepare for the Montreal Impact at Stade Saputo next week. Knocked off the ball. Earls comes in with a long left-footed clearance. Goes all the way into the Cleveland penalty box. Hunter Gilstrat will send a punt back into the Rhinos' half of the field. 90th minute, one hop. Sancho lets it bounce again, takes it off the right thigh, and clears it over the far sideline. It'll be a throw-in for the City Stars. Tenoff, chip into the box. Headed away there by Kwame Sarkody. Z. Roberto wearing the knee brace on the right knee. Gets a little touch on the ball. Again, we are in stoppage time. The referee calling offsides on Cleveland City. So for Rochester, the goals coming from Atieno, Menyager, and Ambersley. We have 2 minutes of stoppage time this evening from Bedford, Ohio. Melia will take his time on the restart. Cleveland with no answer to break through and crack Rochester's defense, as they've come up from the USL D2 and they are taking their lumps. In their first 3 games, they've given up 3 goals in each of those games. Possibly more. Rochester with a minute and a half to maybe add another one to the mix. Flipped forward there by Z. Roberto. Question up and over the back. Foul coming up as Hines gets taken down. He has taken his knocks tonight. Whether it's been in the middle of the field or on the sidelines, Hines taking a beating tonight. Z. Roberto will get the restart for the Rhinos. Earls will come into play as well. Now he'll go to the far side. No, he'll go near side, short to Danny Earls. Earls one-on-one. Knocked off the ball there. It'll be a throw-in for the Rhinos deep in the City Stars half of the field. Rochester trying to make it 2-1-1. As Earls has the ball slip out of his hands. The City Stars could have easily taken possession, but they kind of were lethargic, and Rochester able to keep the ball in the Cleveland half of the field. Forward headed there by Kleshkin. Kenny Burtz, and the elbow there called on Sarkody against his former mates. Almost 2 minutes into stoppage time here. Rochester with a 3-0 lead. Referee with some words for Sarkody. 2 balls on the pitch. And now back into play here. Sarkody just holds his ground, wins possession for the Rhinos. Plays it forward. Knocked back there to Gilstrap, and he'll just pop it up in the air. Chris Nurse, who has just been a rock in the middle of the park tonight. Played it forward to Ambersley. And Kenton And ladies and gentlemen, the big blow of the whistle, we have a final score from the Middlefield Cheese Stadium tonight. Rochester 3, the Cleveland City Stars nothing. The Rhinos have picked up their second straight win away from home. We'll come back with the wrap-up and the post-game festivities. Your final score, Rochester 3, Cleveland nothing on Rochester's Country 107.3. So for the Rochester Rhinos, they've played 4 games now. They've got 7 points. They jump all the way up to second place. They're only 3 points behind the Carolina Railhawks. 2 wins, 1 loss, and 1 tie. They've scored 5 goals on the season and given up 2. For the Cleveland City Stars, well, the losing ways continue, and 3 has been the magic number. Well, I guess it wouldn't be magic if you're losing by game. They're giving up 3 goals a game. The Cleveland City Stars are 0-3 after 3 games played. They've scored 1 goal and given up 9, by far the most in the USL First Division. So with the win tonight, Rochester has jumped all the way up from 6th place into 2nd place. Again, a lot of games tomorrow night, so there's going to be a lot of shifting, and it's still very, very early in the 2009 season. But so far, 4 games away from home, 2 1-1. Your Rochester Rhinos win again tonight, 3-0, as they come away with goals from Atieno, Menyanger, and Ambersley. Time for our post-game awards right now, and we'll start off with the play of the game. It's brought to you by the Smoking Health Action Coalition. Tonight's play of the game brought to you by the Smoking Health and Action Coalition. Atieno, cross from Kenton, right-footed volley, hard and low, save, and the rebound is there! Rochester has scored! Goal! Rochester! In the 78th minute, Ty Atieno has bagged number 2! And actually it was Mike Ambersley, not Ty Atieno, as Atieno was also lurking around looking to put that one in the back of the net. Rochester, at that point, made it 3-0 in the 78th minute. That is your play of the game. Tonight's save of the game, coming from a surprise starter in the nets tonight. Save of the game. Nice little fancy footwork here, coming into the corner of the 6th. Hodgkin left-footed shot, saved by Melia. Rebound, plays it out, and it's cleared away by the Rhinos. As some possession inside the 18 for Jason Hodgkin. And the Cleveland City Stars resulting in a big save for Tim Melia, his first of the evening. And he's called upon to make it in a big way there, as Tenoff lays it off for Hodgkin. He gets the shot away, also got the rebound, and tried a diving header that left a bit to be desired. But Cleveland waking up here late in the first half. Jason Hodgkin with a great opportunity, and Ryan Hines clears it out of play for the Rochester Rhinos. That's your save of the game this evening. Our Zweigel's Red Hot player of the game, I'm going to go with Ty Atieno. He works so hard. He gets manhandled game in and game out. He gets opportunities tonight. He's finally rewarded for his hard work with a goal in the 49th minute on the PK. He sends it straight down the middle. Hunter Gilstrap dives to his right, and that made it Rochester 1-0. Atieno's first goal of the year. And if you break down Atieno's play tonight, he scored the first goal. He had the assist on Jenny Menyanger's goal. And then on the goal by Ambersley, the third goal of the game, he was there as well, looking to poke it in. So he is a pure goal scorer. He's involved in almost every Rochester scoring attempt, as he should be. So our Zweigel's Red Hot player of the game, Ty Atieno. The Distillery sub of the game, how can you not go with Mike Ambersley? First minute, comes onto the field, scores a goal. So Mike Ambersley is our Distillery sub of the game. And our final post-game award is the call of the game. Let's go now to tonight's call of the game and Rochester's 3-0 win. High cross into the box. Kenny Burns is taken down inside the box. He is undercut, and the referee is pointing to the spot. We have a penalty kick for the Rochester Rhinos, and there's going to be a yellow card issued as well in the 48th minute. It was Ibrahim Conte who clearly comes in. Kenny Burns going up for the header. Conte taking him down, and Rochester with the PK. Atieno scoring 1 minute later, and that was all Rochester really needed tonight, as they really dominated this game from start to finish against the Cleveland City Stars, a team that has come up from the USL Second Division. So your final score tonight, Rochester 3, Cleveland nothing. Stick around. Coming up next, it's the direct call-in show sponsored by Auction Direct. The number to call is 222-9500. Coming up next, it's the post-game call-in show.
Country 107.3 welcomes you to the Rochester Rhinos post-game call-in show. Call 222-9500. Once again, here's Joe Giuliano.
All right, enough of me talking. It's time for the fans to call in. 222-9500. If you're just tuning in, the Rhinos 3-0 winners over the Cleveland City Stars. Your goal scorers in the 49th minute, Atieno. In the 56th minute, Menyanger on what they said was onside, but we'll leave it at that. We'll take it. And in the 78th minute, Mike Ambersley scoring for the Rhinos. So Rochester with a 3-0 victory tonight. The number to call, 222-9500. 222-9500 is the number to call. And the phone lines are wide open right now. Friday night in Rochester as the Rhinos win. Tonight's show is brought to you by Auction Direct. It's the direct call-in show. Give us a call, 222-9500. So for the Rhinos, they have a record of 2 wins, 1 loss, and 1 tie. 5 goals scored, only 2 against. And again, it was interesting to look at the standings in the USL First Division. With the win tonight, Rochester could have jumped up to 7 points. They got the win, and they're in second place. They went from 4 points, 6th place, to second place with 7 points. And tonight's game, 3-0 final score, as Cleveland City is really taking their lumps and finding it much more difficult after winning the whole thing in the USL Second Division last year. Tim Melia, he got the start over Scott Vallow tonight. Got him credited with 6 saves in the nets for Rochester this evening. Again, our unofficial stats, Rochester with 10 shots, Cleveland with 4 shots. Corner kicks, Rochester with 8, Cleveland with 4. Saves, 6 for Melia and 6 for Hunter Gilstrap. Again, those are extremely unofficial stats, because what I do is I sit here, I watch the game, and then I say, oh, I should probably mark that down because it's a stat. So I'm a soccer fan just like the rest of us. Again, 222-9500. Do we end the post-game show early, or do we get some calls and talk about Rhinos soccer? And don't forget, the Rhinos are going to be home on May the 30th. Montreal comes to town, 7:30 kickoff. Season tickets start as low as $99. 454-5425 is the number to call. All right, phone lines starting to work now. 222-9500. Let's go to Michael first, and then we'll go to Mike after that. Michael, good evening.
Hi, Joe.
How are you, my man?
I'm good. The Cleveland Stokers, that was excellent research.
You know, my father and I were talking about it last week, and he says, oh, Cleveland had a lot of soccer before, and I did some research, and real interesting how the United Soccer Association used to work. They had foreign teams from foreign leagues come over to the States.
Yeah, I had read about that, but I didn't know it was as recently as the 1960s and that it was in Cleveland.
Isn't that amazing? Stoke City FC actually brought their whole team here, and they played as the Cleveland Stokers.
Wow.
So it's pretty cool stuff, and I'm glad to see soccer's back in Cleveland. But that team, between you and I, Michael, has a lot of work to do.
I was only listening to it on the radio, so I listened to what you were saying, though, and as I was listening to the game, I couldn't help but think about how big the Cleveland indoor team was for the Rhinos for the first few years.
Yeah, John Ball, from talking to people in Cleveland this week, I guess he's a legend in Cleveland still. They excited to see him. He's still very well known, and he talked about the Crunch and the Force. There were huge, huge soccer teams in that city.
I mean, guys like Tommy Tanner and Scott Schweitzer, Henry Gutierrez, Hector Marinero, Billy Andraki, Pat Arcoli all played for them.
Yeah, legends. I mean, Cleveland was the hotbed. Mike, you got to lower your radio just for a second. I'm getting a lot of reverb.
Oh, I turned the radio off.
Okay. I'm hearing something come back at me. But, yeah, there was a huge indoor soccer city. But how about the Rhinos, Michael, as far as coming up here, another win on the road, and teams have not been able to do that in the USL First Division, but Rochester has got 2 in a row now.
I'm thinking that for being on the road, this is pretty good because you
play
in Cleveland. We scored 3 goals.
I think we may have lost Michael.
Oh,
still there?
I'm still here. I mean, we play in Cleveland. We score 3 goals, and now they can go home to Rochester and rest for a week before going to Montreal. So I think that's a pretty good situation to be in, for a team who's playing on the road. I think that's a good thing to have Cleveland, in the league for this.
Yeah, I think so too. I think if they can really get themselves established, we're going to see a great rivalry with Rochester and Cleveland. A lot of people in the stands tonight from Rochester. The banners were up, and they were singing and dancing in terrible conditions. But nonetheless, 3-0 win. Rochester coming home with the 3 points. Michael, thanks for the call.
Oh, yeah, and 3 great guys to score the goals for us, too. They all deserve it.
The balance and the distribution of playing time and everything that Darren Tilley has really put together in this team this year is very impressive. I mean, you've got guys who can do so many different things, play so many different positions.
I am impressed with that.
Let's hope it continues.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, Joe.
Michael, I appreciate the call. Thanks every time.
You're welcome. Bye.
222-9500 is the number. 222-9500. Let's go back to the phones. Mike, good evening. You're on the postgame show.
Yeah, hey, this is Mike. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. Hey, I watched the game on Fox Sports Channel, and what really impresses me with the team this year is the hustle that you're seeing up front. I can't recall, when the last time I saw a hustle up front from the Rhinos. I mean, Etienne and Hines just constantly attacking was awesome.
It's incredible watching Atieno. I think I keep saying it over and over during the broadcast, how he moves off the ball to receive it and checks back for it, and then the pressure he puts on. There was one time, Mike, I don't know if you saw in the second half, where he pressured someone at the corner of the 18 and then chased the guy down on the far side of the field, all within a matter of 10 seconds. I couldn't agree with you more. The guy's work rate is amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing how he could run just about the entire game. He's a machine. I love it.
He's a big boy. How do you feel about him scoring finally his first goal?
I think this is going to be a big season for him, and I think it's going to be a great season for the Rhinos, so I'm looking forward to a great season.
And then next week they got Montreal on the 30th, but then you're going to be at the home opener. I'm sorry, May 30th is the home opener against Montreal. You going to be there?
Yeah, we've got season tickets. So we've been season ticket holders for the last, I think, 6 years. So, nice. Yeah, we enjoy it.
Nice. Mike, thanks for the call.
All right, thank you.
All right, Mike, a big fan of Ty Atieno and Ryan Hines, and I agree with Mike 100%. The pressure that he applies up top just forces these defenders into mistakes, and he's been a great pickup. Very happy to see Atieno pick up his first goal of the year, and hopefully it's going to open the floodgates for him. He was really had a hand in every goal tonight for the Rhinos. Menyangers, he was there. Ambersley, if Ambersley didn't poke it in, Atieno was there as well. So great stuff from number 14, Ty Atieno. The number again is 222-9500, 222-9500. The Rhinos with a 3-0 win in Cleveland tonight. And I want to thank Craig Scheller at the studio for doing a tremendous job as usual. He is the best to work with on Rochester's Country 107.3. 222-9500. And Rochester is a 3-0 winner tonight. They now are in second place in the USL First Division, and they win over the Cleveland City Stars. And if the phones aren't going to ring, we're going to wrap up this post-game show in a couple minutes here as Rochester picks up the win tonight. And if we'll take some time and go back and listen to some of the goals, I guess, before we wrap up the show. The first goal coming in the 49th minute on a PK from Ty Atieno to make it 1-0. Here we go. Atieno, Gilstrat. Ball's on the 12. Atieno steps up, shoots. He scores! Goal, Rochester! In the 49th minute, Ty Atieno opens his account with the Rochester Rhinos. It's on the PK. Rochester with a 1-0 lead. On the PK, Atieno works so hard, gets rewarded on the PK, and it's good to see that they let him take that after his hard work. They knew he needed to find one. They really get into a rhythm, and hopefully that's exactly what he's done now with his first goal of the year. Now this goal here, it's the 56th minute. Johnny Menyanger gets his third of the year from Atieno, and Cleveland totally stopped on the play. Menyanger didn't quit, but Atieno may have been offsides, but nonetheless Rochester will take it in the 56th minute. Menyanger from Atieno to make it 2-0. Corner of the 18, chipped forward, headed away there by Conte. Play to the top of the 18. Tiger gets a right-footed volley off. It's up to Atieno, and Rochester has scored. Johnny Menyager has scored for the Rochester Rhinos. The referee's assistant is getting attacked. The play completely died. It is a goal for Rochester in the 56th minute, and Johnny Menyager smiles all around. As Menyager up and down the field with a smile there. I don't think he's going to find last week he had 2 goals from inside the 6. This week, again, Menyager with the nose for the goal and made it 2-0 in the 56th minute. And then in the 78th minute, Ambersley, Atieno, either one could have put this away for the Rochester Rhinos to make it 3-0. Mike Ambersley in minute number 78. Atieno, cross from Kenton. Right-footed volley, hard and low, save, and the rebound is there! Rochester has scored! Goal, Rochester! In the 78th minute, Ty Atieno has bagged number 2. All right, number 2, it's his assist, okay? Sorry. So, Atieno, not there. It was Ambersley to make it 3-0. Rochester with the win tonight. Final call, 222-9500, 222-9500. And if you want to give us a call here on the post-game show, please dial now because we're about to wrap this thing up as Rochester now will take on the Montreal Impact. That game will come to you on Saturday from the Stade Saputo in Montreal, Quebec. It is a 3:45 kickoff. We'll be on the air at 3:15 with the pregame show. So that'll do it for our producer, Craig Schaller. I'm Joe Giuliano. Rochester, 3-0 winners. They have won on the road again in Cleveland. We'll talk to you next Saturday afternoon at 3:15. Good night, and thank you for listening to Rochester Rhino Soccer on Rochester's Country 107.3.